Hello and welcome! We're now ready to stream the final for Division 4 of the Springsplit tournament for SRG. Today we're gonna watch Young HJE-Fryseren versus TGU Esport in what looks to be an exciting game. I'm today cast here with Wintersplit, and I am myself, Nicholas, who's also known by I Am Your Dead. Welcome again, Wintersplit.
You're welcome. I'm really excited for the finals and really expect to see some really good League of Legends.
Same here, and we are now looking to get a final and the first for SRG Springsplit. So, are you excited? Like, what are we looking for here?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think it's gonna go either 4 or 5 games.
Nice. And we've been looking over these two teams. Like they have finished the top of the season, both of these and teams, and now we are ready to look at one of the potential hardest fought matches in this division. I also think it's gonna be 5 games, and I'm really excited. So, what do you think we will expect here? We've of course been looking over these teams throughout this season, and I really want to watch, especially on this top and mid lane matchup. I feel like that could be where the action is gonna go.
Yeah, I agree. But I also think the junglers could have a lot of impact in this game by helping the solo laners.
Definitely, and we will of course be looking into every player here, and they will all be vital for the success and of course the prize. We are right now just waiting for both teams to be set up and ready, as we are looking to watch an extremely dynamic and well thought out game. So Heldi, how are you feeling about today? Do you think it's gonna be good? Do you think it's gonna be chaotic? Do you think it's gonna be smart? What do you think?
I think maybe the first game or two could be a little bit chaotic, and then they get set and they play more structured.
Definitely. This is of course also the final, so there could be a few nervous people ready here and might make a few choke ups to be too aggressive.
Yeah.
So we are really looking forward to watching these two teams battling it out with this potentially 5 games.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah. I personally would also like to just talk about this patch because there did seem a lot of changes, with 2 of the biggest ones being of course the reworks to Mordekaiser and Rise.
Yeah.
Now, sadly, we also have a rule that says that these 2 champions, right after they have been reworked, cannot just immediately be playable. So they will, of course, be banned. So even though they might be exciting, we are not gonna see them today.
No, that's right. But I think a pick like Jarvan is gonna be really exciting to watch out for today. Both teams playing him, and I think it's gonna be a contested pick today.
Definitely seems right, yeah. Jarvan, of course, have been an incredibly potent and strong early game jungler for many of the teams and in a very long time, and has also a quite diversity of playstyles. I myself am looking forward to the support picks, as both Yumi, Nautilus, Morgana and even a few Jannas have actually been doing very well, especially now that the ADCs are finally in a position where they can actually carry.
Yeah, it's gonna be really exciting to watch out for the bot lane as well.
Yeah. Personally, I do not look forward to seeing if there will be some Vladimirs. I am myself very not interested in seeing that Bloodsucker after having seen him dominate a few games myself here. Later on, I hope we instead might see some more focused and dynamic champions, maybe even some assassins that can make some big plays.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see some more aggressive pick in the solo laners today.
Yes, definitely. So, of course, there have been a few changes on this patch, but most of them have not been too significant. with a few of them hitting some of the strongest champions such as Nautilus and Yumi and Tom Kenj, but never enough to completely gut them. So I still believe that we're gonna see a lot of the same picks, but we might also get a few surprises in there.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see if any of the teams are going to play Sona in the bot lane, but we don't know.
Yeah, of course, Sona Tarek especially being extremely popular in pro play currently and has been dominating solo queue and so on. That will also enable that both mid lane, top lane and jungler can play some extremely high health bruises that can just tear through teams.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting to see what they bring out.
Indeed. Also, we are gonna watch quite a bit of hectic gameplay because we are looking at some amazing players that are known for how good they are since they've made it all the way to the final. And I do wish to see if their communication skills are on point today.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's one of the key points today.
Yes, and we are almost ready to get into game. We are currently just waiting for a person getting into Discord. So at the moment, let's talk about some picks that we expect might be banned away. I personally do feel like that the Javan you were talking about could indeed be a big ban, but I'm also thinking about Fresh, because both the supports here are playing a lot of Fresh. Do you expect to see the Fresh being picked or banned away early on?
Yeah, I'm not sure about I expect it to be banned since they both played, but I think both teams are looking into maybe playing Fresh.
Indeed, and that will also make an extremely aggressive lane, especially now that there are so many enchanter supports that are actually viable again.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But especially for bot lane with both Sivir, of course, getting a lot of help with Essence Reaver Saya as well. We still see Kai'Sa, Ezreal, Draven tear it up, and I will stop with that as we're jumping into game.
Yeah.
Of course, we are also sitting with Esport Fryseren on the left side and TGU on the right side, all blue and red. As we see the first ban come in for Darius. Which of course makes sense, like, we do see that TGU's top laner does play Darius, so...
We see they both teams focus on top lane here.
Yeah, so both want to draft their top laner the most favorable matchup here without being bullied down by their main champions.
Yeah.
And the Kai'Sa, of course, being a huge presence both in pro play, regular play and so on, with her being one of the most annoying late game ADCs with her mobility and AP damage that is just as frustrating as her AD.
And a Heimerling ban.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, of course, we have seen that Father Daisby for Esport Fryseren's mid laner has played Heimerdinger a lot in solo queue games, so it's not a pick we usually see, so they might just be afraid because they don't know how to play around it.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the Fresh ban does come in. We have also seen a Skarner ban, which I especially find interesting because I have not seen a Skarner for a very long time, but of course there is always the threat of him just running up, grabbing that ADC, and then just instantly having his team delete him.
Yeah.
And it is gonna be the Sejuani lock-in here for your Esport. I'm actually especially excited to see what is gonna be the response with the Orianna being first locked in.
And maybe the Jarvan here.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
and there comes
course.
the Jarvan.
Yeah, the ball delivery combo has already been enabled.
Yeah.
Now,
that's a really strong combo.
Yeah, definitely. And I also expect that we get to see a lot of focus around mid lane with the Jarvan and Orianna together once their ults come back up. However, We also get to see now the Sire locked in. Could this potentially also mean we're getting to see the Rakan? We have seen a lot of Sire players play without Rakan currently, and no, it will actually be Rakan, which is of course still one of the strongest bot lanes in the game.
I agree, they already have a lot of pressure bot lane just from picking Sire Rakan.
Yeah, and there's definitely not a lot you can do against that bot lane with both the survivability, crowd control, mobility, and wave clear that lets them bully out almost any lane. As we see the Morgana being locked in. So, well, first impressions of these two teams, like, we can see that the Sejuani is picked up from Young, but we don't see a lot of melee champs, which might indicate that they are looking to get a top laner to play melee, or perhaps even a mid laner. I would really like to see something like the Aatrox come out, if it's not banned away.
I agree, I think Aatrox could be a really good top lane pick for Young Esport now.
Yeah. And we've seen the Talia been banned out so far, not what I would expect. I haven't seen a Talia in a very long time, but she is still very much threat in both mid lane and jungle currently, who can definitely catch out people and do some nice roams. Yorick is banned and Urgot too, so strong split push threats in top lane currently. They are still making sure that the top laners don't get anything they can get out of control on. As we're looking for the final ban from Young Esport. Now we also have to talk about TGU's comp. They have a lot of AoE damage with some high amounts of crowd control and a lot of team fight. So I do expect to see that they will follow it up with something like a Sivir as it is locked in.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Which makes an extreme defensive bottom lane that makes it very hard for Young to kill them. I really like that coming out for TGU. I think it's very smart to build up around that, and I think it's a mistake by Young for not respecting the Sivir.
I agree, and it works really good with Jarvan as well.
Oh,
we see the Katarina mid lane.
That is a pick I did not expect. I have not seen Katarina being locked in Springsplit yet, but I am very excited to see what it's gonna do against the Cavaliers Orianna.
I think we're gonna see a lot of action in mid lane,
yeah,
and we see the Aatrox getting hovered from top lane as well. This could be.
And it is locked in, so now we finally have the two as the team was hovered. Of course, we have to just troll the cast a little bit, but of course we now can see that there's of course a melee character in Katarina, but she's obviously not gonna use that many auto attacks. That would be a bit weird, but now Sejuani has a few things she can combo with her E, as the Ornn is hovered, and that makes an extremely deadly team comp from TGU's side.
I agree.
So let's see, as the members are just swapping around their champions. What are you really looking to see in this match? I'm especially looking forward to seeing the Aatrox into Ornn lane. Not a lane I'm especially familiar with, but I would imagine that the Aatrox would be quite happy with looking for a lot of fights, while Ornn probably just wants to sit back.
I agree. I think with jungle attention top lane, Aatrox could really easily get out of control, but Ornn is just looking to get through the laning phase and be a strong teamfight champ.
Yeah, definitely agree. I also am very much looking forward to watching this mid lane matchup, as we can see that it's gonna be Katarina against Orianna, which is not a matchup we get to see often in these 5-on-5 situations.
I agree. I really think the TGU jungle mid 2v2 is way stronger early game, so I think they're gonna play a lot around mid lane.
Yes. And as the members are joining in, we of course have the 3-minute spectator delay, and we are currently looking forward to seeing what each of these teams are bringing in. Of course, both the bot lanes being fairly standard, and just in general TGU's comp being standard, but then we see the one weird pick, which is of course the Katarina, which doesn't get to see a lot of competitive play. And I'm really excited to see if Fauda could bring a lot of action through with this champion.
Yeah, if he gets ahead early, or even in the mid game, he could really pop off. But if you're behind on Katarina, you're gonna have a really hard time.
Indeed. So, what do you think we would have for expectations for this team? Like, do you think we should be looking for a lot of aggression, or do you think they're gonna take it slow and look for the perfect opportunity to take a fight?
I think Jørgen Esport is gonna play really aggressive, and they have strong top lane and bot lane, so they are pretty good 2v2 and 1v1. So I think that makes a lot of pressure on the map. So I think they're gonna play really aggressive.
Yes, definitely seems so. I also really like that both teams have gone with a lot of bans towards the top side, which does show a lot is being put up on these two members to make a good performance. But we also see that Lord Sleepy, of course, for TGU is playing more for his team than anything, while Anivia for Jørgen, of course, going for the more solo carrying style with a lot of damage from every member. For Jørgen's side of the map is definitely gonna be more explosive.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a really exciting game. It's two pretty decent team compositions.
Yeah. I, of course, am always excited to see if we're gonna see some early action through an invade, or if anybody's gonna go look for some deep vision early on, because that it has been a big part of the Springsplit so far, with some of the best moments happening with that. I would of course always like to see the Morgana go for either the invade or for just setting down a ward, so you would be able to spot which route the junglers are gonna take.
I agree. I think maybe TGU they could invade, but I don't expect Young Esport to do something crazy level 1.
Definitely don't. I think both these teams are gonna be a bit on edge, look for maybe a bit of fights for Young's side that might not look to be entirely within their favor. But I also expect that both these teams are gonna take it as calm and collected as possible and really think about every step of the way. As we're jumping into the game now, we get to see that a lot of these peeps, what they have picked for their keystones and summoners loadout, and there's nothing really special to see here. It's fairly standard for everyone, though.
Yeah.
I do really like to see that also the different skins that people get to choose for their loadout. I do think sometimes you get to see something that is out of the norm, but this time we see a Sabertooth Sejuani. I've never seen that skin before. I really am happy to see that you can always get to see something new when playing League of Legends,
Yeah,
even if it isn't for players. As we are now into the game.
So I'm excited to see if any one of the team are going to invade.
Yeah. As it might seem like we're gonna see exactly that for TGU as they're going 5-man together bot side.
And it looks like a standard cover from Jørgen.
Yep, just standard for Jørgen's side. With 9 of Diamonds spotting out the invade a bit early on, making it unsuccessful. But great done by 9 of Diamonds there that he goes out, spots it, and then immediately turns around, setting the wards. Now, I am very surprised that Jørgen hasn't like completely off yet. But that also means that they just get all of this deep vision. Meanwhile, Anivia still hasn't been up and set that ward, neither has Fao Daipai. Which I find interesting because that gives so much more information for TGU's side.
I agree. They got 2 wards in their jungle now, so they can track the Sejuani early now.
Yep. We also see both junglers starting here bot side, which does indicate that both of them want to really go up in that top lane and ensure that they have the winning lane. Of course, we also have to remember that Rakan is a ranged champion, so he doesn't proc the Sejuani E. As both junglers have currently taken their buffs. Now we're seeing just a laning phase starting out on every side of the map with just a little poke coming out from everyone taking a few creeps.
And the Sejuani is looking to do a normal full clear.
Yeah.
She don't have the 1v1 against Jarvan early, so she can't really contest the scuttle.
Yeah, definitely. Also, we do see, of course, that the one thing that we want to see from this team is, of course, this Katarina in mid lane, but her early game, before she gets all her free abilities, can be a little bit hectic, while Orianna can poke out from level 1. So just the wave control that she's bringing, so that she can always help her jungler, will also be a big factor when they talk about these scuttles. Oh, as bot lane are having a little fight. Meanwhile, we see that Jarvan has already arrived at the top side of the map.
And we see Sejuani near mid lane.
Yeah, oof. This could actually end up with some action. As Faudapai is going in, and we see a bit of trade up in top lane as well, as the Camille just manages to get out by the skin of his teeth. So very well set up for Young Esport, but all they ended up with is the Cavalier's flash this time around.
That's actually a really good trade.
Yeah, that's a really good trade. PowderPie only using the ignite, while the Cavalier uses both his sums to get back into lane. Oh, as top lane, and Lord Sleep just flashes away. Very nice played by Anivia. And we see a lot of this early aggression we were talking about for Young Esports side, as Jarvan is looking to go inside the mid lane. Maybe no, he's actually just looking for some jungle vision. But both of these teams have already been in quite a lot of combat, and we're not even 4 minutes in yet. Both top lane and mid lane, of course, bullying out from Young's side.
Yeah, you can see the
Jarvan's
top
coming
lane.
bot lane.
Yeah, he's looking for a gank bot lane.
Yeah, but sadly nothing here. But very nice start for Young Esports side still. Not a lot has been gotten yet, but a few sums out here and there is definitely gonna help them in the long run.
Yeah, you really see how strong Aatrox is in a 1v1.
Yeah, and also why he's so contested at this current moment in both pro play and just in your regular games. Definitely a champion I'll be looking forward to seeing. Oh, as we're going into mid lane. We can see here that they're going on the turret, and first blood for Faudapai for Young Esports side, as she gets executed.
And this is actually so big for the Katarina.
Yeah.
Getting the kill and getting ahead in mid lane.
Yeah. Oh, as he goes in top lane, Anivia! Ooh! Flashes in for the kill. Sleep is stepping way too far up and just gets punished. Of course, he'd already burnt the flash early in one of these trades, so this is just really well played from Anivia.
Yeah, this Aatrox can really get out of hand now.
Definitely so, as we see that both junglers are hovering around mid lane, just trying to get this wave pushed in, so we can get some kind of help throughout this. Of course, we can see Sejuani is being spotted out on this ward as... Oh my! They caught out, just very well set up by TGU. Finally
that's
getting one
really
back.
Nice pick off on Sejuani.
Yes, indeed so. Of course, Cheston being caught out a bit too far, but still very nicely spotted on the ward, and just great execution for a brutality kill here. As we see Lord Sleepy here being poked out, losing these trades.
And TGU is starting the dragon already.
They indeed are. And this might just go down uncontested. Nice start for them. Clawing their way back into the game, even with the 1k deficit in gold. Now, I'm also glad to see that just about everyone is keeping up in farm. Like, there's no big leads yet. There's a 10 CS in top lane as the biggest, and that can easily be recovered late into the game.
Yeah.
So currently TGU has a slight lead, but with this dragon it does almost even out, as that's going in mid lane. Just a little trade. But this is also why we see that this Katarina can be such a big problem once she gets ahead, because now she's just bullying out Orianna without taking almost any damage on return.
I think Katarina can really snowball now.
Definitely so. As the only place where they have any lead for TGU is actually on the jungle. Spot lane is playing very much even currently. Oh, they're looking bot lane. Oh, Jarvan goes in too deep and he's getting punished for it. Oh, maybe they're looking for more. As red line flashes. Oh, and the Katarina. Oof. This is two so far. They're looking for more as they're backing out. Very nice played and communicated, as Jarvan just goes a little too deep and they get absolutely punished.
Yeah, I think that he thought they caught out Sejuani, but they ended up turning it around.
Yeah, Young having great communication there. Oh, Sleepy getting caught out here. We're looking for a bit extra damage, as he'll just get chunked down and has to back. Still doesn't have TP as well.
Ornn is really struggling in the 1v1.
Yeah. Definitely very well played from the side of Young, really controlling this early game, as we really hoped they would. Of course, this is not biased, it's just we want to see both these teams really perform what their team comps want to. We're just quite a few minions being taken from both sides. As we also have Herald spawning in 1 minute, as we see the Jarvan walking up towards top side of the map. Might be looking towards getting this Aatrox down. As we kept the Ornn ult missing. Oh, the Aatrox is just 1v2ing. Can they get him?
Oh, that's
he's
so
1
close.
HP. Oh, and the Sejuani coming in with the save. Very well played by Anivi on this Aatrox.
That was really close.
Yeah, clutch. Oh, and the Katarina coming in. Oh my god, these guys are setting up plays everywhere. Of course, we also see Sejuani falling, but once again they get another pick for Young Esport, really just pushing their lead. Now it's a 3k goal, as they get 3 turret plating from top lane now. Now, Herald is up, so I do expect to see some kind of contest over for that object, as they're going bot lane. Alright, we see that the Sion Rakan pop it all. The Ignite has come down, the stopwatch coming down for red line, as he's getting stunned by the Morgana ult. And we see Okung just chasing down. Oh, the feathers come in. Oh, and the flashing, both ADCs flashing. Everyone surviving on 1 HP. Is there gonna be any more fighting? As both teams... Oh, the Jarvan's coming down bot side.
Oh,
He might be able to go for the dive here. Young Esport, of course, getting the TP in here from Anivia to really stop this dive. Very well communicated there, getting
that's really
Anivia
good
down.
teleport.
Yeah. An exciting fight bot lane with 0 casualties. And this is what peak League of Legends experience looks like.
And the Aatrox building Death Dance first item, that's really exciting.
Yeah, almost kills the Orianna, who used her flash. And Aatrox killing her with ease. Okay, this Aatrox is massive, like Anivia is just rolling over in this game. And this is probably why we've seen so much top lane pressure in these bans, because we can see that Anivia is just rolling over TGU currently, with this 3.5k gold lead now for the team. Just on top lane alone, there's a 2200 gold difference, which is insane. So we can really expect to see that this Aatrox is not gonna stop anytime soon. He's just gonna continue on with this massive power as they're looking for bot lane. Yeah, and it does seem like we do have a 6-second delay here from our side. No, and it doesn't seem like we can get forward as there's a fight on top lane for Black Anivia, and he just dies. Oh, very well played by Javan.
And in the same time we see young Esport picking up the Cloud Drake. Or the Ocean Drake,
yeah, the Ocean Drake. And it does seem like TGU is looking for Herald now as a response to that with the shutdown.
And we see the teleport in bot lane.
As Sejuani gets caught under the turret and the TP coming in. And Oriana's just looking to fight this Katarina. Oh, and Ignite down. Stopwatch.
And TGU is getting the Herald. I think it's really big for them since Katarina and Aatrox is so far ahead.
Yeah, it does seem like I do have some delay, and sadly it doesn't seem like I can. I'm trying to look if I can get up to speed, and I'm currently at 13, 19, 20. Would that sound correct for the count? Yes. Alright. Yeah. And now we should be in sync again. Alright. So now that the Herald has been picked up by Javan, we might get to see them just get the first turret put down with it, as the plates are about to despawn in the next 10 seconds. We do see a lot of plates coming out for both teams here, with 2 for TGU and quite a few more for Young Esport, with of course this aggression they've put out. As we see Black Anivia just fighting up in top lane versus the Zorn.
You can really see how strong he is. Yeah. Just takes half his HP.
Yeah, just a third of it just down with a few Qs and auto attacks. Doing an incredibly amount of damage with every single one.
And we can see the Herald getting popped and bot lane.
Yeah, and this might just be first turret. Because there's a very late response for Young's esports side, with both of the bot lane members being back. And this is the first turret down. Black Anivia is still having a lot of pressure up topside, and he might kill Sleepy here, and he does! Popping the whirlwind just at the last minute, getting the tower. As the Herald will go down before the second charge. Both teams playing that very well, with jungle, mid and bot lane all getting ready for the siege down bot lane with Herald, while Anivia just solo killing Sleepy, something that we've seen a bit too much in this game for my liking.
Yeah, I agree. And we see the lane swap from TGU now.
Yeah, this might also be very smart, because it does seem like Sleepy can't really deal with this Aatrox, and he might have a little easier time just dealing with this bot lane as they're not as far ahead.
I agree, as TGU, you really want to get the on out of the Aatrox lane.
Definitely so, as we see Anivia getting ready to fight here. He's going onto red line, almost kills him, and Sejuani flashing really nice. And ulting, but it's got spell shielded. Javan's also coming in, joining the fight, as there's a flash out of the Cataclysm. All the sums are being used right now for the ADC. As Katarina goes in, kills the Morgana, just continues on the onslaught, now looking to go onto Oriana, as everyone just flashes out. That was a big fight, and people just kept showing up all the time. With a lot of
that was a really good fight.
Yeah, and this also allows Young to just push in mid lane and get a lot of tower pressure now. They might even end up getting this turret. Very
I
well
think
played
so.
by Young. As we do see Sejuani being a little close into the jungle, but it doesn't seem like they're going for. The Ocean Drake is spawning soon, so we might see a fight coming over there, as probably both teams would like one little reset before joining in the fight. We also see TGU pushing quite far off right now in the mid lane.
That's actually a little bit dangerous when they don't have
as we
any
see
vision
Rakan
control.
going in. We see the Katarina killing the Morgana once again, now going on to the Sivir. And we see the Rakan all popped, just to get the kill there on the Sivir. Two very quick, very easy kills for Young Esport, and TGU just stepping way too far. Like they have no business being there. This is just gonna be another free Drake over for the side of Young Esport, as they're also looking to get this mid lane turret.
Yeah, I really need to think TGU needs to respect the enemy team more.
Definitely so, especially when they're this far ahead with an Aatrox and the Katarina, and the massive engage that Rakan and Sejuani brings. Now Sejuani was a bit deep there, but doesn't get caught out. Just everybody looking for a reset. As we are 18 minutes into the game, we also have to start thinking about the Baron. And how to set up for it, when they want to fight for it, when they want to contest it, when they can take it. So far we also look on the vision side, there is a lot of vision for the side of Young, but TGU's is all defensive in the side of bot, and they probably want to look to move that over to the top side of the map soon. No team having an incredible amount of vision, but we do see that most of it isn't really centered around Baron so far, and they might be looking to pick up a bit more vision and put it around it.
Yeah, and I think Young is gonna have a really good time now, since they have Aatrox against Ornn again.
Definitely. We also see that both the top lanes do have teleport, but so does Orianna for the side of TGU, so we might just be able to see them sit it in these side lanes, just pushing waves out, so that there's no chance of them for doing Baron without two people just TPing, as we are looking for.
Oh,
yeah,
binding
that Morgana binding, oof. That may just have been a kill onto the Katarina if it had landed.
Yeah.
That was a very deep invade there, coming from the side of Young, as they're just looking to push waves out again. We do also see a small stacking in the top side here, waiting for the Aatrox to push in, while they're clearing vision out in the top side jungle.
And we see Aatrox going top lane instead of bot lane, meaning they really want to look for the 5v5 fights right now.
Yeah. And also of course getting this tier 2 up in top lane. I do still think you could send one person down bot lane, but this should be a big fight. That Aatrox is starting in it also means that they could probably get the resets much faster for the Katarina.
And we see Ornn moving top lane as well now.
Yeah. And we do see the Baron being started here for Young Esport. Let's see if TGU is going to contest it, as it is being taken down fairly quickly. We do see them trying to spot them out. They have vision on it now. Are we gonna see a back off here, a fight? As Young just backs off it currently. And
the Baron didn't use it,
but doesn't get anything. And they're back onto the Baron. Now we do see Anivia just zoning them out with still 4 Young members in the pit.
And we see the
going in
ultimate
here, fighting 1-on-2 currently. But he's not really hitting anything, as the
binding on
all
Sejuani.
And we see the Rakan jumping in as well with his ult, and Aatrox on the backline just 1v5, and he is gonna fall down, yes, and now Katarina's looking to engage the fight, but she is also has already burned everything. Oh, and the Morgana binding lands, the feathers come out, and they get the reasons for the Katarina, and the Katarina just goes off and gets the ace.
Wow, that was massive.
Yeah. Katarina just needed that one reset to kill everyone. She gets it off. The finally gets them down just slow enough that she can get the first one, and then she just obliterates the side of TGU. Oh, very close fight, and that could have gone either way, because we did see that Anivia being the first one to just die in that fight, and then the fight was finally turned once they got just a single reset for Kata, as they're getting the in-head turret in the mid lane. Also looks like the teams are getting ready for the Cloud Drake to spawn, as there's currently a lot of movement for Young going towards it. Oh, Jarvan, you may be a bit too far forward here, man. He does just get out, but is Anivia gonna get close enough? He does go into the base, however.
Really deep.
Yeah. But it doesn't look like TGU can just do anything to him. Meanwhile, we also see Okong and his Sib up in top lane just getting the farm down, getting the red buff. As we should see Young here just take this dragon for free and back off, getting ready for Baron. So far, I really like the plays from Young Esport. They've been very proactive in looking for objectives and kills, and they've so far been snowballing into quite a few leads.
Yeah, I agree. And now is the time for TGU to get some vision control around Baron, and maybe look for a pick before they're getting pushed out of their own jungle again.
Yeah, definitely so. TGU really needs to be careful. They also have almost all of their lead onto their Jarvan, which isn't really gonna help them entirely much, even though he is building quite a bit of damage. He is really also the front line for the team. They do need some more damage onto the Orianna and Sivir to really be dealing a lot in these fights that they should in theory be winning. Now we see Young sitting really up and taking down all of the vision from TGU's side. We might be looking to get another fight inside of TGU's jungle as the Morgana binding lands, but not much follow up, just a bit of poke. Getting some deep vision down, as Anivia is just waiting, looking to see if anybody's gonna step up to him. As he's going in onto the Sivir, Okong being dragged back, Katarina gets the reset, gets to go all in. They're now behind the turret, but the Ornal coming in just to make sure the fight is disengaged, with the one quick pickup onto red line on his Morgana.
Yeah, the Sivir didn't really expect the ward over the golem wall.
We see maybe some more fighting here going on. Just trading back and forth as the Katarina lands a big dagger behind them, and the All Might go down here. Yep. Oh, Lord Sleep just going down. Just all of these random kills going on as Anivia gets the Okong over the wall. Jesus. Anivia's Aatrox so far has just been so big. Oh, we might see an engage here from Katarina with a one shot. And we might see also a dive onto the Orianna as they're looking to end the game perhaps. Oh, the Sejuani might go down though, yeah. But it is still a 1-on-4 for the next 5 seconds for Jarvan, and it doesn't look like
can the Jarvan stop them?
They're just taking down these Nexus turrets, and we do see that Anivia distracting both top lane and jungle for TGU, but the Nexus turrets are down. They might just be looking to end here. Oh, and Anivia kills Jarvan onto the fountain. He's now going onto the ADC, really. And now, the reset for Katarina coming in now. They've killed 3 people. On is looking to kill the ADC, but the game is gonna end here. And very well played by Young Esport.
Yeah, that's really well played. Oh, the Katarina really popping off in the mid game. That was a really fun game.
Definitely was. We did see that Aatrox come in and the Katarina being really clutch in these resets and all of these fights. So we did see the solo lanes for Young just completely tear and shred through all of TGU without much problem. And I do wonder if we're gonna see more of this for the rest of the series after such an exciting game one.
Yeah, I think you can expect the Aatrox ban now because he really smashed the early game top lane.
Definitely so. I also look to wonder if we get to see more of this Katarina or if it's also gonna be banned out, as that was also quite a big problem whenever she got a reset.
I think we're gonna look forward to the next game.
Definitely so, as both teams are now gonna take a little break to study what that is that they should be doing looking forward. respect to the Yes, and now we're looking towards game 2. It's gonna be amazing. Alright, I definitely think that this Aatrox is gonna get banned, and I also think there might be something with this Katarina being banned as well. I definitely think that that's gonna go down. Anything else I don't know is they might be looking to take away either Sai or Rakan, because they might not want to get both the tools over again. Especially now that Jørgen can get the 2 first picks. We're of course in lobby right now and we see the Aatrox being banned away as we predicted.
Yeah.
I am interested to see, yeah, Jørgen is just looking to do a lot of the same bans with Darius of course being banned out in game 1 as well.
Yeah, and that also makes sense for them.
Yeah. I am interested to see now what is that Anavia then being put on, because I expect him to be a big vocal point for Jørgen again, even though he's not on this Aatrox. The Katarina also being banned from the side of TGU, making a lot of sense.
Yeah, and the Kai'Sa again for Jørgen.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see.
Yeah, we both are, definitely. And the Jarvan being banned away as well, so we might actually get to see some new things in the jungle, as Jarvan was of course picked last game.
I think TGU is gonna first pick the Sejuani now.
Yeah, I definitely also think so. It could really look like that. It's just to ensure that Jess's doesn't just get the Jarvan, because getting the Jarvan Sejuani in priority as the junglers, and then after that there's not a lot of champions that can just tank up and get easy and free crowd control down. And we do see the Sejuani hover here as it's locked in. Definitely what we expected. Now we might see quite a few things come out here. I do expect that we might be able to see the Hecarim coming out for Cheston, for Young Esports side. I do like Hecarim into Sejuani, and I do think that it can run around early, but they might just be looking to get the Syrakan again, as they can get both the tools right away.
We see the Psylocke in, and they're having the Syrakan again from Young Esport.
Also just saying that they are confident enough in this bot lane duo, so they don't need the matchup knowing, because they did also very well against the Sibba Morgana last game. Now I do expect to see the response in bot lane pick from this side, and it is looking to be the Morgana again.
Yeah, that and now
Caitlyn.
the Caitlyn now, okay.
Yeah. So we did see the Caitlyn ban last time, but they don't get the chance to this time. So it's gonna be really exciting to see the Caitlyn Morgana combo coming out, as it is one of the strongest and most aggressive poke lanes in bot lane. And the Tahm Kench being hovered here, this will of course go into the top lane.
They locked in the Tahm Kench.
Now this is an extremely exciting thing to see, because Tahm Kench is currently being really strong, and he did receive some nerfs, but it was mostly towards support Tahm Kench that it really affected. So I'm still gonna expect that it's gonna be very lane dominant, and it's gonna be almost unkillable if it doesn't get shut down early.
Yeah, Tahm Kench in the top lane is actually really strong in melee matchups, so I think that could be nasty, but let's see what TGU are going to play against it.
Yeah, so far just a lot of the same bans. I do also want to point out that there is no Heimerdinger ban yet, so we could still get to see that as the Orianna actually gets banned. So they do still have a bit of respect for that Orianna, which is nice to see, because the Orianna also did do very well, even though she did get killed early.
And the
Heimerdinger being down. Yeah, not gonna let Powder Pie get to play that Heimerdinger. And we do see that it's probably gonna be the jungle lock-in here for Young Esport. And they are hovering Elise. Now I find that extremely interesting, because I would not say it looks so well against what TGU is currently drafting, but it does look very much better if you look at what Young Esport so far has, and it could just be to get more pressure onto this top, mid and bot and just get these early kills that they look for in game 1 as well.
Yeah, I agree. Elise isn't the best against Morgana, but since they play so much around top and mid lane, I think it's a really good pick.
Definitely. But we do see the Mundo coming out here. Mundo being, of course, one of the tankiest champions in the game as well, so it could be very hard for them to kill him early, letting TGU scale into the late game. And we do see the Karma being locked in. Like, I have not seen a Karma in a very long time, and there could be a flex between Morgana and Karma, of course, but I do think it's Karma mid.
I agree. After her small nerfs, she's actually a pretty good pick now.
Yeah, Karma did
small
of course get some small buffs this patch, together with a few other enchanters, but still haven't seen it yet, but might be very powerful. As we see the Lissandra being locked in lastly for Young. So what I really like to see here is that we can see Young Esports' highest damage source is really going to be coming from this bot lane now, so we are maybe going to see 9 of Diamonds and Fake Tactical Fresh stepping up, while we see a very rebrandish comp over for the side of TGU. And I'm incredibly excited to see what we're gonna be happening with this Karma, because I have not seen Karma in a very long time.
Even in the mid lane as well. But from the both teams draft, I think it should be a lot of action around the bot lane this game.
Definitely so. We at least expect Okong and Redline to try and contest 9 of Diamonds and Fake Taxi Fresh early game, so they can't just push in the wave and back out. I do also expect to see this Elise really looking towards this top side of the map, trying to get a few picks on either Mundo or Karma before Mundo gets his ult, and whenever Karma's flash and cleanser down, it should just be a very free kill, as Lissandra is very good at setting up ganks. And no, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the top lane, because if Lord Sleepy never played against Tamken's top lane, he could really easily be surprised about the Tamken's damage.
Definitely so, with Tamken's damage being incredibly high at the moment. And of course, seeing a lot of play with his ult still being a very useful tool to get around the map, especially if you have your jungler with you.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I think it could be really easy for them to play around bot lane, since they have the Tamken and they have the Lissandra, and at least they have a really good opportunity to dive bot lane.
Yeah, definitely so. One thing I do find interesting though is it does look like Young Esports Lissandra is going for Ignite this game, which could also indicate that she's going to be a lot more kill pressure, but also just without the teleport, not gonna be in as many of the fights, so it's really up to PowderPie to be at the exact moment at the exact time and not wasting his team's time when they could be looking for picks.
I agree, that could also mean they would look to pressure a lot around the mid lane with the Elise early.
Definitely so.
Even though Karma has cleanse, but
yeah, of course, cleanse does also work against Ignite, but it is most likely also just gonna be used to cleanse either the Cocoon, the Lissandra ult, or W even, so she doesn't get caught out.
I think this is gonna be really exciting to see this game.
Definitely so.
I think TGU has a really good draft if they don't get too much behind early game. If they can get into mid game and late game, I think they're gonna be really strong this game.
Yep. I do also want to point out that the only other meta champ than Serenity for the side of TGU is that Mundo. So we might see both of the junglers looking towards this top side early on. However, I could also really like to see that Serenity just going bot lane, even though there's no help for melee or attack, because Morgana is still really good at setting up these ganks with, of course, the Dark Binding. And they could easily just be looking for the Sire or Rakan if Rakan isn't close enough for Sire to just interrupt his jump.
I really think this game is gonna depend a lot on the junglers, since you don't have strong solo laners. You have tanks and you have control mages, so I think we're gonna focus a lot of the junglers in the early game.
Yeah, definitely so. And while Young still does have kind of this kill focus style with Lissandra and Elise, really wanting to kill mid lane and Tam Kench being a lane bully, I do still think that this is a more team focused game for Young, where they want to go around the map more so than just look for kills.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if they're going for the invade again with the Morgana, or if they are just playing it safe early now.
Yes. As I am currently in game now, I expect that we all are that also for the production side. Yep.
As we see, TGU is running 5 men to the bot lane. I think we're gonna see invade again.
Yeah, but also very crucially, we do see it coming again from the bot side, so it's not that they can go for the mirror.
Early ward for 9 of diamond. It's actually really smart, and it's gonna spot the invade when they move out. They actually run the other way around.
Yeah, I think they might also have been looking to see if the enemy was gonna go in to put a ward there and surprise them then. But they do get spotted out by the Elise here, so they do know where they are, and they just take the ward down and go back to each of their respective positions.
Yeah. I think it's really smart for them to get the early ward to try to spot the Elise, since she has so much more jungle pressure in the early game than Sejuani.
Yeah. Of course, I do not exactly expect that the mid lane is going to be easy for either of them, but I do expect that Karma with her massive high range poke and the mantra, of course, her ult being buff to her Q especially, we could just see a very early bully, as they can release Karma. So far has already gotten the Sandra to pop a pot.
Yeah, we really see the when we run poke from Karma could be really strong.
Let me show you what it is to fall.
Looking at where the jungle started, they are looking both to get what looks to be a full clear out, as we see the Sandra coming in for a bit of poke in mid lane. Nothing much yet. But both junglers looking towards pathing bot to top again, just getting all of their camps bot side, then look for something top side of the map. I do also just want to put out that both the top laners start Dart and Shield. Of course, that's both standard for them, but it also means that they're never really gonna take a whole lot of damage, because they are just gonna regen up with their massive grasp, the undyings and health regens, so they both sustain. So it is just gonna be a wet noodle fight up top lane. His
Yeah,
bot
I
lane is
agree.
poking down.
Yeah, you can see the difference now from the Caitlyn and Sivir is that Caitlyn shoves inside Rakan early.
Yeah, and also has this massive bully potential that whenever the Morgana lands that binding, she can just deal a massive amount of damage.
And we see the Sejuani staying in bot lane and looking for a lane gank.
And this could be interesting because currently they are pushed up,
Oh,
but they don't have vision in this bush, and if Redline,
oh, he got spotted.
yeah,
That's quite unfortunate.
yeah. But that could also just ensure that they at least can get together and small invade in. Might be looking towards the scuttle first, but could definitely be interesting. As we see Tam and Mundo just trading up top lane as Elise is coming in.
Yeah.
Sleepy not respecting that the jungle might be
flash.
top lane. Oh, they're flashing for Manevia here. And this might be the kill, and the first blood going over to Tam Kench. Whew. Oh, but the return kill, minions killing the Elise on the back out. Now that was interesting because that actually looked like a fight they were almost about to lose, as the Mundo just survived for so long.
Yeah, they fought in like so many minions that actually ended up killing the Elise.
Yeah. And both flashes being out for both top lane and jungler, which does bring a small lead to Sleepy when it comes to now the jungler can no longer gank as efficiently on top. Now we do see Sejuani around the mid lane while Elise is looking towards the bot lane. We might be seeing a gank come out. Elise, of course, just walking around that scuttle that has already been taken down.
And we see the vision control top side coming out from Sejuani is actually really huge now, so Mundo don't die without his flash again.
Yeah, TGU definitely looking for a lot of vision in this game and definitely controlling all of top side of the map currently. So there's no real surprises coming from the Elise because they will know where she is on the map, because if they have the entire top side water up, then she's probably bot side. Now Elise is walking towards bot side of the map again. But
it's
it does
not
look like
spotted yet.
Oh, but they are going in here, but the black shield coming out.
That's the black shield.
But there's nothing really that can be done. And they will just back out and get some more farm. As Elise is waiting around some more.
But the lane is pushing away from them, so she's not being able to gank the lane.
Yeah, she definitely won't. But she might just be looking to get that red ward out that Kamo just plays, and that is unfortunate when you just set the red ward and somebody's already clearing it out.
I think Elise is gonna have a really hard time this game. TGU is really playing good around their vision control.
Definitely so, but can they deal with this? There's gonna be a 4-man gank bot lane as the Sandra is coming in.
Ultimate.
Oh, and the flash from Morgana is also coming out, and we see the ult coming in, and we see the heal coming out from Caitlyn, but Morgana still runs down, the ignite is still on Caitlyn as she flashes out, and now we see top lane. There's also a little fight going on. Cam is coming down to help them bot lane. And we do just see a lot of back off there. But a big fight again, and we do see that Young just looking for this early aggression, looking to put the Lissandra and the Elise down in this bot lane, just getting their bot lane ahead, and 9 of Diamonds picking up this kill. Now the fight around Drake as we see Sejuani right over the wall.
It's gonna maybe look for the steal.
Now Young dragging out the dragon, hoping that there's not gonna go for steal here.
But Sejuani is going in.
Sejuani is going in way too early, and she's getting rooted up, stunned up, and we see Mundo being killed in the top lane. The Elise being 1 HP. Really needs
Oh,
to kill
this
it.
is so
there's no
close.
smite, and the
Oh!
Caitlyn steals it. Are they going for more? Are they looking for more
Oh,
of this
they're
pickup?
so low in the dragon
Elise
pit.
is stuck in the pit. Elise gets the root down, but Saya has to flash out. But is she... Redline is looking for more. Still could land this binding.
No,
Oh.
but I
Dodges
think
away,
he's
but
still
Ignite
dead.
is going down, and this
Yeah.
is just gonna
Oh.
be another kill going on. Really well played by TGU. While Sejuani may have died too early, the rest of TGU just locking it up and just turning the fight around, getting the extra Drake, the extra kills, and the extra flash from the side of 9 of Diamonds.
I really think that this was so huge for the TGU bot lane. You can now see the 30 CS lead on the Caitlyn. I think this is gonna be really huge for them now.
Yeah, definitely so, especially because we did say that this Saya Rakan was gonna be the big focus, because they did put a lot of effort into these guys being the main carriers for this game. Though I do also see the Rod of Ages going out
Okay.
for the Time Kench, and that is not an item I'm used to seeing a lot, and I still haven't seen it on Time Kench. What is your opinion of it?
I think it's he's gonna be really strong on the 1v1, and he's already killed him once in the 1v1, but I don't think it's that great. You don't want to sit in the 1v1 all game against Mundo.
Elise is coming in topside here, but Sejuani is right behind her, and she...
See the flash.
Yeah, both top
Oh,
laners flash, but
Sejuani
Sejuani is
is top.
coming in. The Mundo being spit out the wrong way. Elise flashing out, and now Tom Kench is alone. Neither the mid laners being anywhere close, and no TPs being able to come in. They are looking to fight this, but it seems like Time Kench is just gonna fall, and Elise backing out, not wanting anything to do with that. Really well played by TGU. Young just being desperate to get anything and not being clever enough to put wards inside the enemy jungle before doing it. We do see Lissandra looking towards bot side here, but I don't think that TGU is having any of it.
I think this just showed that maybe the Rod of Ages is a mistake, since he needs to get the tank stats as well.
We see the Herald being picked up here. Very nice pickup for TGU. As they're 1k ahead, 1 Mountain Drake and a Herald ahead as well now. Now the plates still are up, so they could pop it really early and get some extra plates with the Herald.
I would like to see a Herald play around bot lane. They have 2 control wards around bot lane and all the vision control.
Yeah, definitely. We've not seen a lot of lane swap action coming in yet, but we do see Elise is pathing towards bot side, while Sejuani has just backed. They are stepping very far forward right now. Rakan clearing out wards just so that... Oh, the mid laner from Yoring as well is coming down, but the Lissandra is looking forward to disengage. But she decides against it.
Oh, the black shield
wait,
is down
never
now.
mind, she's going in now.
That binding
Oh,
was really
Rakan
huge.
being caught out, being ignited. She's low. He gets the healer. Oh, the TP behind. The flash away from Saya. Mundo just coming in, killing Sandra, trying to go in, but sadly the Morgana has the stopwatch at the time. As the fight is split in 2 fronts, the Sandra just getting out, but getting caught out by the Caitlyn ult, as Tom and Elise are currently just fighting the Mundo. Tom being half health, but probably gonna survive this. Caitlyn Q not finding the mark, as it is 2 kills for the side of TGU, as they might be looking for more.
You see Sejuani from the side?
Oh, and the snipe out for the Karma as Tom Kench gets rooted on the turret, and the flash from Morgana just gonna ensure that she doesn't die, as Sejuani picks up Elise on the back end.
This is so huge, and they still have the Herald.
Yeah, they still have the Herald, and they get 5 for 0. as they get free play spotting so far. Just pushing the advantage they got in that fight, because that was massive for TGU.
And the Infernal Drake is spawning now as well, so this is really huge for TGU.
Definitely so. The Rakan going in, but
Are they
not
going
really
to
able
get
to
the first
do
tower?
anything.
Yeah.
As
Also
they're
getting
just
the
getting
first tower.
everything. First tower, 5 plates, Infernal Dragon, Herald's still up. Everything is just going in the favor for TGU right now with a 5k goal lead at 13 minutes.
That's
2
really
Drakes.
huge. And they still have the Herald.
Yeah, and they still do have that they can just pop whenever. Now they're probably not going to get any planes now because they're about to go down, but that just means that the Herald is going to do even more damage and can take down the tower even faster.
And I think it's really good for TGU to get the early tower against the Tamkens who wants to save 1v1. If he gets in the 1v2 lane, I think he's gonna struggle really hard.
Definitely could very much looks like that. We do also see the lane swap coming out from TGU because they want to set their strong lane up to get yet another turret. Just applying this turret pressure with all of this lead onto the gate, and as she does already have picked up the Infinity Edge and the seal. So big crits. Oh, and the Dark Binding is landing, but no further follow-up. Sejuani is looking around topside, probably gonna put that Herald down at some point. Just to push it in. At least
I think they're gonna
topside.
get the tower now as well.
Yeah. As the Tamkens and the Least can't really deal with them.
Or they need to pop the Herald, or he's gonna lose it.
Yeah. Winter
He's
is
putting the
being
Herald top
fighting
now.
topside. Oh, but he's flashing away even though the Ignite was popped down. The Rakan ult scaring him enough that he did not want any more of that. Herald being popped topside, the Dark Binding lands. Elise might just go down, as there's so much damage from the side of TGU. Tam has to flash away.
Oh, that Sejuani ult was really nice.
All the ults just coming out from TGU right now, doing so much damage. The flash in from Karma. The Tom W does a lot. Oh, but Tom goes down, and Sejuani might just go down in return. But the Herald is still there. The Karma finally also goes down. But can they
the
just
flash binding.
so many depths all around, but they get the Herald right before that it hits the inhib tower. Being a 2 for 2 in the end. But damn, was that intense. As we do see Sai going to look for some more cleanup, but can't find anything. Woo!
That was so hectic.
Definitely was. And I find that very well played from both teams. We see that they set up a very nice Herald play, but then whenever they just went a little too deep with the Sejuani, we just saw the Lissandra immediately turning it around, just going in for a big place, really carrying Yoing after they've had such a rough start to the game.
Yeah, and I want to praise Redline on this one. He really has some huge binding on the siege top lanes, so they couldn't engage on them. Both on the Elise, so they got the pick, and he's played that really well, I think.
Yeah, definitely. We have seen a lot of Redline on this Morgana, and he has just been landing binding after binding, really comboing well with Okong's Caitlyn. Now, we do not see much that can happen except with this mid lane, because there's still one turret there, and TGU just can't have it. They need it gone so they can push further into the map.
Yeah,
and it's just, yeah, it just goes down so freely, so fast with the Mountain and Infernal Drake. Now, where the teams go from here could be a few different places. They could look towards this Drake that spawns in 1 minute, or they could be looking to push out this bot lane. Currently they're on the top side of the map, not really getting much. But I expect them to go in and defend this mid lane now.
Yeah, I expect him to go for the Drake now, since Baron even isn't up yet.
Yeah, and it isn't gonna be for a while. But it is a Cloud Drake that's spawning soon.
And Kami is moving top lane.
Yeah, just making sure that they don't get pushed in the top lane. while all of this dragon action is going down. Both teams trying to set up the vision for the Drake. As Rakan goes in, we see the ult come out, we see a lot of the ults come out. Time is already in the fight. We see the Sai already popping the ult. As Serenity goes in, already one kill down. Time kills Caitlyn on the backside. They're now going for Karma. Serenity is trying to go for the Lissandra as well. And now Mundo finally joins the fray, going in for this time Kinch with Karma. With Morgana hitting that Dark Binding. We now see this time Kinch being all alone in the world as he goes down. Dark Binding not connecting there, so it's in the end just gonna be 1-2 for the side of TGU. And they are looking towards the Drake now, but what a fight!
Yeah, I think it was really good fight from HJE-Fryseren. Actually, they got the Tamkins ult, so they had a favorite fight when Mundo still was bot lane. But this just showed how far they are behind. They even lost an early 5v4 until Mundo joined the fight.
Yeah, the fact that none of Diamonds did not survive the fight, even though that, of course, the time actually got into that Caitlyn and did all of the damage, killed her, but they didn't have enough consistent damage left because of Saya dying, so they couldn't really finish the fight on a high, therefore still losing, even though it was a really nice play by HJE-Esport. Now Baron is spawning soon, so we can expect to see a lot of action going through there. As we do see the Caitlyn all on her lonesome inside this river. But nothing much happening. The Caitlyn ult just coming out because why not?
Just some small poke in the mid lane.
Yeah, Caitlyn's ult of course having a very low cooldown, so using it for a bit of poke isn't entirely without reason.
Yeah, you don't really want to use it
in
the middle of a fight.
Oh, being two-shot by the side of Karma Caitlyn for TGU. And Karma's looking to be caught out here by the Cocoon. Popping this stopwatch and the flash, the heal getting ignited, but now Serenity joins the fray and they have to back out as Rakan falls. They're just chasing and Young just can't do anything because this Caitlyn is so strong. Even Tom is about to go down here and Lissandra can't do anything. TGU just running over, getting a 0
and running straight for the Baron.
4 kills for the side. Oh.
How are you gonna kill this Caitlyn through a Karma shield and a Morgana black shield?
Yeah, like they're just gonna take this Baron without any contest as well. And she also has 2 beefy frontrunners that's just keeping everyone away, so it's never like 9 of Diamonds can just walk in there. Oh! I bet. I thought the camera was Lissandra for a second.
Yeah, now we see the 9k gold lead from TGU.
Yeah, and plus the 3 dragons as well, so they should just be able to lock the win in here from if they're just pushing these towers with the siege of the Caitlyn. There's not really much that can happen at this point.
This Caitlyn got 2 finished item and a QSS. I really don't think she's gonna die more this game.
Definitely. The only real way that TGU can fall down now is if Caitlyn just makes a mistake and gets caught out a bit too far.
I agree, even though it's hard with a Morgana and a Karma.
Definitely, especially if they just follow her around.
As we see, TGU is just clearing all the HJE-Esport vision in their own jungle.
Old Sleepy does get the top side to just push in, but meanwhile we see the rest of the TGU just getting mid lane and bot lane ready so they can get these tier 2s to start with, because with Baron, tier 2s are nothing.
And we see Karma is actually doing a lot of damage as well.
Yeah, Karma at this point just does half of anybody's health except for maybe the time Kensh's. And Caitlyn just taking down this tower like it doesn't even have any health points.
And they're moving into the mid lane now.
And we do see Mundo just baroning off the minions in top lane, just annoying the Tahm Kench, making sure that he can't join the fight. Also just threatening that if Tahm Kench actually wants to fight, he has to ult down, and that also means that Mundo can just take the top lane and have turret. We do see Caitlyn alone in bot side, but the rest of TGU is just sitting in mid lane, just pushing it in, so they get another tier 2. And the 11k gold lead now for TGU.
Yeah.
And they're just pushing it down mid lane here.
If Jørgen Esport can hold the inhibitor towers, as it really don't look like, they could have a chance.
Oh, at least almost dying there, but repels out just in time. And this just shows the predicament that Jørgen is in right now, because they can't really go up to clear, they can't really kill the enemies, and they can't really wave clear either. So what do? They just have to give up their base and hope that they don't take the entire thing.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that, since the Karma and Caitlyn rage is just a really huge problem for them right now.
Yeah. They already have the mid lane inhib down now, and they might be looking towards taking the bot lane now. I also do see the Cloud Drake being up, so that could be a potential objective for once they're done with that push. But it looks like that they're just gonna really go in with this Caitlyn, who's stepping incredibly far because she can't really be punished. TGU is almost inviting them to take a fight, but there's no way Jørgen can actually win such a fight. The binding does land onto the Morgana. Oh no, onto the Santa.
The damage.
And they do get the bot lane inhib turret, and now they can just push in with this Sejuani. We could see the Glacial Prison. Khan still does have his ult up ready to go.
But he got both the ultimate and the flash from Saya without using the Sejuani ultimate. That was actually so huge.
Yeah, it does mean that 9 of Diamonds is gonna be very vulnerable whenever they fight. As the Baron does run out for the side of TGU, but they do get the Drake, and now all they have to do is siege top lane and get that inhib turret before opening the base.
And you can actually see there's only 1 minute and 30 seconds for the next Baron.
Yeah, and that Baron is gonna be huge, because if TGU gets that, it's basically just game over for the side of Jørgen.
Yeah, I agree.
Because this huge goal lead of 12k is only growing so far, and once one more Baron has been placed, it really could determine the game. We also see the Locket being picked up for Sejuani, which is an incredibly good pickup, because that means there's even more survivability on this Caitlyn. Just making sure that this Caitlyn can carry without dying is much more important than having the Sejuani survive.
Yeah, I agree, that's the only job for the tanks.
So we do see a few support lines being picked up by Jørgen as well, by Tahm Kench especially, having the Knight's Vow now, the Redemption Rakan. Though it doesn't really look to matter that much, as we have double Rod of Ages for the side of Jørgen, and those are not really gonna do a whole lot in these fights.
No, they take time to scale up, and you can see the Lissandra Rod of Ages isn't fully scaled yet, so...
Yeah, as they might be looking for a fight topside, while we see the Rakan going in. But Rakan is just almost dead already, but they're going in, we get the stopwatch down, we see Sejuani engaged, but the side can't even hit the Caitlyn, and nobody goes down. Caitlyn flashes in, just killing. And they get a 4-for-0 in the favor
and they
of
fight in the bot lane. Mumu is
and Mumu is literally just 1v1ing Tahm Kench.
Under the tower. Oh, or is he?
No, but he being turned around, and Tahm Kench just outplaying.
And
but
the Caitlyn
he does get picked up by the Caitlyn ult in the end.
And that seems to be the end of the game.
Very well played by TGU, backing up after a disappointing game for them in game 1, making the series a 1-for-1.
Yeah, I think this was really important to not losing 3-0. Now we got a really exciting series again now.
Definitely so, especially looking at this bot lane from the side of TGU. We saw this Caitlyn step up to the plate. We saw even the Karma really just staying alive in this lane that was very hard in the last game. And now we just see TGU finally coming into form, really just knowing where Young's strengths lie, just exploiting them.
Yeah, and I really want to praise both the vision control from TGU, so they track the leads really much of the time in the early game, and the Morgana hitting some really clutch bindings in this game.
Yeah, definitely. So Redline playing an incredible performance on this Morgana, and the setup of vision in the top side of the map especially was so fantastic by TGU, really ensuring that the Elise was always known to be on the bot side, meaning that the bot lane was entirely secure even without knowing where exactly Elise was.
Yeah, if I'm Yang, I would maybe consider banning the Morgana, because she's just disengages so much of the Rakan CC.
I definitely think the Morgana might be on the table for ban as well, but I do also think that there's going to be a bit more respect towards this Caitlyn. It was banned away in game 1, but the moment Okan got this Caitlyn, he just popped off, so I do think that that's going to be taken into consideration when they do plan the next ban phase.
Yeah, and we need to remember now, Yang Esport does have the chance to first pick Sejuani if TGU don't ban her. We have seen a Sejuani first pick in both games now, and if I was playing Sejuani, I wouldn't like to play against the Morgana bot lane.
Yeah, definitely. So we did see Sejuani being first pick in both games, so it would indeed be very unfortunate if we just got picked off by a Morgana not being able to do anything. But we have seen an incredible performance for every player in that game, but sadly the Elise just wasn't able to get enough of an early lead to really snowball the game.
Yeah,
And
she really struggled early game.
yeah, and that just even furthered the fact that they couldn't really ever get onto the Caitlyn. I do hope we get to see some new jungle picks though, because so far we've seen Jarvan, Elise and Sejuani. I do still want to see this Hecarim in the jungle, but I would also like to see something a bit more spicy. Maybe we could get to see something that we haven't seen in a while. I would like to see some assassins coming out especially. And while Elise definitely is an assassin-like mage, I would still consider her a mage more so, even though she has a high amount of burst.
Yeah, I expect to see the Sejuani if she is open again, even as a first pick, because both teams really played well around the Sejuani.
Definitely so, and I do expect that there could be a factor in the banning phase. But I also hope that both teams now can adjust towards the Sejuani and have a way to shut her down in the early game.
Yeah, we didn't see an answer to the Sejuani yet, but maybe TGU has something now, or are they gonna ban the Sejuani?
Of course, banning it is also just a solution, but I do think there is ways to take down Sejuani and exploit the fact that most of her damage does come from her E and the aftershock that it provides.
I agree. The Jarvan, as we saw in the first game, could be an answer to the Sejuani, but it depends on the solo laners as well, because we saw them getting punished so hard in the early game. It was actually so hard to play the Jarvan, but if they have some stronger matchups in the solo laners, Jarvan could work really well.
Yeah, we did see TGU play a very nice Jarvan in the first game, but sadly it just wasn't enough for them to carry the game. So it wouldn't be too far of the possibility to just see that Sejuani and Jarvan being picked up again, but I still think that the bans we are gonna see are gonna be the Aatrox and Katarina, and then Caitlyn Morgana for the side of Young.
For sure the Aatrox and Katarina, but I only think they're gonna ban either the Caitlyn or the Morgana in the first rotation. I don't think they are ready to ban both of them.
I do think that that's also the most likely scenario, but definitely one of them should be banned away, as that is definitely the bot lane combo that TGU has been most adept at playing.
I agree. We saw them banning Kai'Sa in the first rotation in both games, and I think we could see the Caitlyn ban instead.
Yeah, as well, we have seen also the Darius and Fresh ban, so it might be that one of those two could also be swapped out for Morgana either. I do not think that Darius is that big of a problem, especially because I do think Nip can play champions around him. Especially because we did see the Aatrox come out once, and I do think that if he plays it correctly, he could also just sit back and just let him play his Darius and just outscale him. Which I would have liked to see him go for in last game.
Yeah, I agree, but Darius is a tricky pick. If he gets ahead, it could be really nasty, but if your team is falling behind, it's really hard to play Darius.
Definitely so. However, I do not think it's really worth a ban right now with the Fresh. Both teams does play it, and I would kind of say that with both the bot lanes that these teams have played so far, the Fresh shouldn't be that high on the priority. I would say that the Morgana is much more dangerous because of all the crowd control it can stop.
Yeah, and Redline has played a really good Morgana as well. He had some really clutch binding in this game too.
Definitely so, and it's not taking away. I do think that both of these players play an incredible Fresh, of course, but I do not think that Fresh is going to be the problem, or at least the biggest problem of all the champions that these teams can provide.
No, maybe the Fresh could come online now if they ban Morgana.
I would at least look forward to watching it and see a very big performance, especially because as both Redline has been very proficient in both games, we also have a guy literally with Fresh in his name.
Yeah, that's right.
I do expect that if it gets out of the ban phase, there is a very high likelihood of one of the teams picking it up.
I agree. So this is gonna be really exciting to see what they're switching up in the pick and ban phase, because I think Young Esport is gonna do something different now.
I definitely also think so, because I don't expect them to be able to carry through their bot lane again. I expect full-heartedly that we're just gonna see Cheston just get to play around bot lane and just ensure that that is not happening again. Just ensure that 9 of Diamonds at least can be put in a carry position, because he hasn't really been able to do that. He did get an early lead in game 2, but it was not enough for him to be able to carry, as we just saw TGU get an even bigger lead that was not even close to the one that the Caitlyn got.
Yeah, I agree. They've put enough on Sire both games, but the Morgana has been really counter to the Rakan, so they haven't really got the lead they wanted in the bot lane. So
Yes.
we are soon gonna get into the next game as well.
Yeah, both teams looking ready to start, as we are looking for game 3. Of course, both teams being now 1-1, and we are still looking forward to see if this is gonna be a 5-game series.
Yeah, I really hope so, because these two first games has been really exciting.
And we do see them back on the original sites again. We do still see Darius being banned out, so there might still not be changes for Young Esport, but I do still expect that we might see something in the later parts of the ban phase. And so far we're just going with the same from
They
the previous
still-
game.
They still ban the Kaiser. That's exciting for me.
Yeah, Kaiser of course still being like an incredible AP source as well, so the versatility of her also makes her incredibly annoying.
Yeah, and the Katarina ban as well. That makes sense.
Definitely does. But the
Oh,
Morgana does
the
be
Morgana
banned
ban.
out. So
Oh.
they do respect that Redline has been playing a good Morgana in both games, and now they could still pick the Caitlyn, but there is no longer an immediately OP combo that
And
they
we
can
see the
just do.
Sejuani ban as well.
And
That's
see-
really exciting.
Yeah, those were the two bans we were especially looking for both these teams. The Sejuani has been first pick before, and now the Fresh is being locked in.
This is gonna
That
be
is great.
exciting now. And I think we're gonna look at the Jarvan on the other side.
I do think so as well. I do think that we're gonna see a jungler and support being locked in here. I do not know what they want to counter it with. I can see both Nautilus and Yumi being incredibly contested against this, as they're both really strong, but we do see the Lulu. And
Okay.
I expect them to go full out on Okon carrying them again. I don't think
looks
you ever
like
pick
with the
Lulu.
Lulu.
else. Yeah, so I think they might be going for either Kog'Maw or Caitlyn, Twitch, Tristana, something that just has a high amount of range and can just get the Lulu buff and just go ham.
I agree. But are we gonna see the Jarvan or what are they going for?
They are
It's
actually looking for their
Amumu?
Mumu.
Okay.
And of course, Amumu got a slight nerf here. I believe it was this patch, so that he no longer is as insane with a full AP comp. But we do see the Jarvan being locked in for young Esport, making
Yeah,
sense.
I agree.
Jarvans are being very great.
And we see the Sivir hover.
That makes that bot lane even scarier for the side of TGU, because that means that they not only get to get a very safe laning phase, because Sivir doesn't really do much aggressive early game, just for the most part shoves in, but also means that they have the superior late game in their AD carry, because they will have a Lulu buff while Fresh will only be looking for picks.
I agree, I think we might see the Karma again since they picked Lulu so early.
Either that, or I think they might be looking to get the ADC now, just so they can round out these picks with priority.
The
And it is
Tristana,
the Tristana being locked in. And I really like that, because Tristana is actually a really good pick into the Sivir. And also with the Lulu buff now, they can siege very, very intensely. And it is just gonna be the Talia and Heimerdinger ban again for the side of TGU, in my opinion. The Talia has already been banned. And we see the Yorick, of course, on the side of Bjorn. And then I expect the last ban to go towards either the top or mid lane or something. I do expect the Heimerdinger to ban. I don't think they're gonna let it through. Like,
No, I don't
there's
think
no
so.
way, right? There's no way.
No.
But they do take their time in locking in. So I expect that both teams are really talking about what they think each other will play in solo lanes. I'm especially excited to see what's gonna happen in top lane, because last time it was Tom and Mundo and neither of them has been banned this game. So are we gonna see a repeat?
I think we're gonna see a tank top lane again from TGU. I think they want to play the protect ADC comp again, and we see the Dr. Mundo ban.
Yeah, making a lot of sense. Now Ornn is of course still up, but we did also see that Anivia was very proficient in taking it down, so he might have another pick that can deal with it as well.
See the Cyan hover, yeah, the
This-
Cyan login.
Now Sion hasn't seen as much prevalence in top lane, but he is the go-to tank for a lot of people in top lane, and he does scale infinitely with his W, getting an extreme amount of health. Now, what are we looking for here? We see that Jung has a great team fight. Oh, and the Vlad is being hovered and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
locked in. Now, my hate for Vladimir is known to everyone. This is my insta ban every game, but it could both go mid and top lane. We might just see it go top lane against the Sion. I do expect it to be mid lane, but both players have played Vladimir in the past, so
Oh, and the
not really.
Aprilia.
So it is. So this could actually mean that it's a double swap here. So both of these players can just flex each other, Irelia and Vladimir. I do think that Irelia does better into Cyan than Vladimir does, solely for the reason that Irelia can actually kill Cyan,
But
and we
I
do
don't.
see Karma locked in.
Yeah, I don't think Anivia is playing any Aurelia. I think it's Aurelia mid. Yeah.
And it does also look so for the draft. Yeah, so this is gonna be really interesting because I don't really know many of the Karma matchups in mid lane. I think it's gonna be fairly safe top lane, both of them just farming up, being late game monsters because Cyan can't die, Vladimir deals a million damage. And then we see the Jarvan and Irelia just they're gonna go mid lane. Like, it's not even
I
a
agree.
discussion. Like, this combo is one of the strongest in this current metascape, where you can just put down the Jarvan ult, then put down the Irelia ult right on top of it, and then you get to jump to everyone, and they can't escape from the Jarvan Cataclysm. So
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to this, because this time Karma has nothing that she can just cleanse away, so she is going for the teleport instead.
Yeah, I really think Yang is going to play really hard again to the solo laners again, and I think TGU is gonna play really hard against the bot lane now.
Yeah. The most interesting thing from this entire draft, in my opinion, is the Amumu coming out for the side of TGU. I don't know what their plan is with it, but they seemed fairly certain when locking it in.
Yeah, I agree. They had the chance to pick Jarvan, but I really agree on the Amumu pick actually, because you want to protect your AD carry, and Jarvan isn't the best in the matchup to protect your AD carry. So I can see it why they pick Amumu here.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure they have a good reason for doing so. And the ult definitely also works against Irelia very well, because when Amumu of course ults somebody, they can't auto attack, which makes sure that a lot of Irelia's damage is negated. I'm gonna be really excited to especially look towards both mid and bot lane. Fresh, of course, being someone who can play extremely aggressive and defensive alike. But with the jungle pressure being mostly bot side, I don't expect them to be top side a lot, with Vladimir and San just wanting to farm up. I do expect that a lot of fighting going on bot lane, because Tristana bombs and Fresh hooks are both insanely strong early. And Irelia Jarvan, of course, wanting to kill this Karma a lot.
Yeah, I agree, but I really want to see how the matchup is gonna go top lane now. Last time Sleepy played a tank against a non-tank champ, he lost really hard, but now it's against the Vladimir, so I think he can play it safe now.
Definitely. Of course, Vladimir not having the greatest amount of damage early game, but he has infinite sustain. And while Cyan is a very tanky champion, he doesn't have the same kind of sustain that Vladimir does, and he does still rely a bit of mana to deal with any kind of harass.
Yeah, I agree, but it's also really hard for Cyan, because either he builds magic resist to survive the side lane against Vladimir, and then he gets smashed in the team fight, or he builds armor and can survive the team fight, and then he gets smashed in the side lane. So it's actually really hard for Cyan to build this game.
Yeah, definitely. Cyan has always had the trouble that the very good players have the perfect build for any situation, but all of those who are less familiar with Cyan, they just have the problem of not knowing when to itemize what. And given that he's playing against an AP lane, and then after that has to deal with almost exclusively the AD damage, it is gonna be such a situation in this game. But let's hope that Sleepy has a plan, especially for item spy. I would personally like to have seen maybe the Bowson's kind of Cyan going like with a more AD variation, but I don't think that's very likely.
I think he can survive the side lane by just buying HP to a certain point, but they're playing at defend the AD carry comp. So at some point they just want to play 5v5 and have a lot of armor and Sion.
Yeah. As we are looking into the game, we should still be talking about the invade though. We have seen invade attempts in the last few games, and we do have a fresh this time around. So it is still quite the likelihood as we are jumping into the game currently.
Yeah, we have seen TGU trying to invade both times with the Morgana, but now they have Lulu and they're pinging topside actually.
Yeah,
They still have a Mumu to invade with.
I do think that Mumu will be starting W, but if he spots somebody else, he could just start Q to help with the invade. Definitely.
But they're stacking up, they are afraid of the invade.
Yeah, they are looking to be very smart about it. They perhaps think that Young is gonna go for the invade with the Fresh, or they might just be going for the invade themselves.
They're going for the invade themselves, yeah. Or are they? Oh.
But I do think that Vladimir is gonna spot them out.
They hope to to find the Vladimir in the boost, but not this time.
Yeah. But again, no real vision coming out early game. This mirrors a lot from game 1. In game 2 we did see a lot of vision come down from Young, but not this game. They're just playing it very slowly, very defensively. It seems like they just rather want to be on form and pick it back up, rather so than being too aggressive early and just completely losing their mind.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing we have to take away from this is Amumu does start topside this game, which would make his path look to be bot side of the map. So he is looking to affect that bot side.
This is gonna be exciting if Amumu can do anything early.
And if we look in mid lane, those trades.
Yeah.
Like half health level 1, that's just how their really matchups go.
Yeah. This is just showing how hard Karma is gonna have it in the mid lane.
Yeah, of course both players being half health, but they both corrupting potion and they both have a lot of damage in the early game. Now we see poke going out from every lane, as we see the Fresh going in, lands the hook onto Lulu, gets the play, and we see quite a bit of damage coming down, but no sums.
But this one is a really huge trade for the bot lane.
Definitely so, as Okong hasn't even gotten level 2 yet.
And we see the Mumu mid lane. He's going for the gank.
Getting mid lane here, and they're flashing out.
They got the flash.
Very well done by Mumu here. He doesn't even have to land the Q, he just has to pressure enough to get that flash out. Hook onto the Tristana. But Tristana just jumps out.
Yeah, I think it's really good to get the early flash from Aurelia, since you saw how aggressive she played in a 1v1. But now Karma can play a lot more safe, knowing Aurelia don't have flash.
Yeah, really nice ward by Sion as well.
Jarvan flash top lane.
That was aggressive.
Oh, and the hook bot lane again.
Hook onto the Tristana. Tristana has to flash out.
You just see this Fresh just keep landing those hooks.
Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of aggression in this early game, and it really does mirror what Young has been trying to do. They really want this aggressive early game, and TGU is responding very clearly to this. And I do think they should be very afraid, because this Fresh definitely has been looking great so far.
Yeah, I agree.
As we're looking for gank mid lane perhaps. Jarvan being in there and Amumu coming in. Nothing really happening there. Amumu going back towards the bot side of the map, just taking that scuttle. Everyone just poking out in their own lanes.
Oh yeah, we can actually see in the top lane that CS difference is already on 2 waves. That's actually pretty huge for the Vladimir.
And coming in. Tristana jumps but doesn't get anything.
And we see the
flash from Fresh, but No more follow-up. Still, very good. They got a summoner out. SMU has so far gotten a summoner every time he's ganked. Just shows how much respect you have to give this Amuma. And just an entirely whole lot of damage coming out from this Justana. Have to realize that Justana's early game is really strong as long as she gets those bombs off. Now both junglers have been trying to get a gank, but they haven't really been able to get much so far.
I think this Vladimir is gonna be a big problem for Sleep in the top lane.
Yeah, though they do trade right now.
He takes
and
a really good trade.
Yeah.
And he gets
he
the
does
flash.
Out. Ooh.
Yeah.
Sleepy, one level behind, but still doing quite a lot in that trade with that Grasp of the Undying, just ensuring that he keeps getting more and more stacks.
Yeah.
And while Sion is behind in farm, he's still doing quite well, especially because now he's made sure that Vladimir doesn't have flash as well.
Yeah, that was really important.
I really have been poked out. Oof.
Yeah, and now Sion is level 5, the Q starts to hit like a truck.
Yeah, and Sleepy playing this lane very well.
Yeah, the Jarvan gank early here was pretty tough for him, but he managed to come back in the lane now.
Yeah, and Mumu does go for better vision there, but doesn't really want to fight the Jarvan. And Vladimir, he is extremely good at looking for farm, but Sion is of course one of the more irritating top laners to play against because of just the sheer amount of tankiness he brings, while also doing an incredible amount of damage and crowd control. It feels like his Q is up multiple times in every fight. Jarvan is going inside the enemy jungle, just looking, see if he can get anything.
He's looking for the invade on the red buff.
Yeah, and he might not expect that Amumu might already be there, as he's going to find him. Now Karma is going down. The smite has already been done by Amumu.
Oh, Amumu is going back in?
Irelia is here now. Not
so
gonna burn
the Karma
anything.
and the Vladimir.
Sion hasn't responded yet, so it is still 3v2, but Irelia goes back into the mid lane. Amumu seems to have been given up.
Yeah, it's a really nice invade on the red buff.
Yeah, but Sion gets spotted out by that ward. We might just see another fight going up top lane, and the ult is coming out
the ultimate.
Unstoppable Onslaught will be down for a long time because of the cooldown.
I don't really think it was necessary, but better be safe than sorry.
Definitely.
We're still waiting for the first blood.
Yeah, so fights happening all around the map.
And still no first blood. That's actually really impressive, because there have been so many small fights already.
Yeah, both teams have been playing this very smart. They've been looking for a lot of things, but they don't really overextend forward, and they realize when they have to give up, as Vladimir and Sion are trading against top lane. Now this Vladimir does pop the ult.
The Vladimir ultimate.
Sion has to flash out, but he doesn't have the ult to escape. Now Sion does still have TP, so he can just TP back into lane. So it isn't too bad for him.
See, Jarvan is staying right to the mid lane.
Yeah, and it is a mountain drake that's up already, so they might just be looking for either something bot lane or to get on this drake, as it have already started it.
But they got spotted by the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, and Momo is really low on HP.
Now
this
they
is
have
a problem
for them. Little. It is a 4v4 down on the bot side, as Vladimir is being 1v1 by Sion. Sion doesn't quite have his ult up yet, but it doesn't seem like being killed, and they just give up the Mountain Drake over to Young Esport. Very well played.
Yeah, Momo didn't have the HP to contest it.
Yeah, but Sion is contesting this Vladimir, not letting him go up and do what he wants. While Vladimir does have infinite sustain, if Siren just bullies you out, it's not really gonna do much for you. Because Siren has a lot of mana and
Yeah,
he
he
can just
keeps
get
hitting.
all of these
Oh,
Qs
they're
down.
both so low.
Oh, Irelia? Going in. Half health on their
And the
Karma.
ignite. And
Yeah.
Amumu is red. Oh!
Yeah, Amumu is already there. Oh,
Oh.
flash in and it's first blood. And
Siren
Vladimir
dies top
solo
as well.
killing Siren in the top lane. He might get a play. Yeah, he gets a play back, but still very well played from both sides here.
Yeah,
Sadly,
that was.
yeah, we saw 2 flashes go out from the side of TGU here, while Young used their flash and ignite on Irelia. So I would say it's still much more worth for Young Esport, but TGU doesn't go home empty-handed, which is a big thing for them, so they don't just snowball out of control.
Yeah, but an important thing for Yang here is that you get the kills on both your solo laners, and TGU got their kill on the jungler.
Yeah, definitely. But both the Tyrellian and Vladimir going even earlier into the snowball parts of the game, it's even more important for TGU now to get this bot lane rolling, because if they don't get a lot of gold of these plays and get a few kills, they're really gonna struggle, because Irelia and Vladimir, both mid and late game, are gonna be incredible threats.
Yeah, I agree. You see a pretty huge
Mumu coming in
CS
here.
lead in the top lane and in the mid lane.
Irelia
Yang
might be
Esport.
caught out, but it doesn't look
Almost.
like they will continue, as Jarvan gets spotted by that red wall, just taking it out.
But you also see a small CS lead in the bot lane for TGU, and you're playing for the bot lane. They even got 2 plates.
Yeah, and Tristana seems to be very glad for this matchup. But mid lane, both junglers is sitting around. Jarvan is going in first, but
Amumu
Amumu
is right there as well. Oh,
Split decision from Young Esport. They don't exactly know what they want to do.
oh,
as
the
the
TP
is coming
from
in.
Vladimir.
Yeah. And
They
Zion
just
doesn't stop it,
disengages.
but the Fresh is ready. He might be landing a hook onto this Lulu.
And the polymorph. Oh,
but
Tristana is
jumps
going
in.
so aggressive.
Fresh flashes out. Doesn't get hit by the bandage toss, but just more jumps from Tristana. The ult from Amumu, because the side mommy just ensures that there's gonna be a kill.
Oh,
As
Karma getting
now the
caught.
rest of Young Esport comes around and they get 1 kill onto the Karma and one onto the Amumu. Vladimir ult comes out, and while Lulu flashes away, Tristana still has both sums, but it doesn't look like Vladimir can look for anything else. And the Irelia E not quite landing there. Oh, they are looking for more on the Tristana though, but she does still have flash. The ignite coming down
Oh,
to the
that
Irelia,
was
and she
really
does
nice
go
play.
down. Oh, so many fights in this bot lane. Both sides playing it incredibly well again, but once again, people are just overextended as the
They're
Tristana
going
jumps
so
in. Okay,
aggressive.
the TP from Karma is coming in here. But can they actually look for anything? Lulu does get speeded up, but oh, she almost dies to the Vladimir. Oof. And TGU playing this so risky.
They keep going at it in the bot lane.
But at the same time, they have gotten 2 kills over on Okong, so they have been taking these calculated risks, because they know they need the kills onto him so he can carry.
Yeah, that's really important that he got both the kills there.
Yeah. So even though that might have looked like a kind of chaotic fight, and perhaps even like nothing really made sense, it was calculated because they need to ensure that Okong doesn't just get killed by the solo laners, because he doesn't have any early kills like them. Irelia does trade the Karma in the mid lane. Now Herald is up, and Drake is about to spawn soon, in 20 seconds. So
Yeah, you
those
can
are
see
just
Young Esport starting the Herald already.
Yeah, so 2 contest objectives, as Fresh is a bit too far in, his ADC is nowhere near. He might just be run down by Okong here, as he gets credit, and Okong just deletes him. 6 autos and a dream.
Can they get the first tower in bot lane here?
They might honestly just be able to look for it. They do have Karma on the bot side ready to help if anything happens as well.
Almost.
They might be able to get it in the next wave though, as Vladimir does go in on the Sion. Sion has flash off, but he doesn't have ult.
Oh,
Jarvan does flash ult, but doesn't get anything. As they look to dive the Sivir, and she just gets deleted. Flash is not enough, you can't flash that. Oh, and the ult comes out from Irelia, but yeah, just gonna be cursed off the Satmar mid and gets deleted.
It's just looked like everything fall apart from Young Esport in the last 2 minutes.
Yeah, and TGU is just looking for constant fights, which supposedly what Young wants to be doing, and they just don't know how to respond to it.
Jarvan is looking for the top lane again now.
Yeah. Now that was an extra Cloud Drake over to TGU, but Sion does have ult, and he could just use that to turn it around if they want to try to look for a dive. Now we do have to look at this Tristana, because she is currently 2k ahead of the Sivir and already finished an IE and a seal for Berserker Greaves.
She is so big right now.
Yeah. And just to compare it, no one has bought 2 complete full items yet, and she's almost there. She's at least 1k gold up on everyone else in the game, so she's really snowballing.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna get another tower in the top lane.
Sion is holding down bot lane. There has been a lane swap from the side of TGU so far. A bit of poke coming out on the Sion, but nothing that really matters, as he has bought the Spectre's Cowl, probably looking towards that Adaptive Helm, as the top lane turret is falling, as TGU just runs it down with their Tristana.
Yeah, Jarvan is hovering bot side. I really don't think they have an answer for the Tristana right now.
I don't think Jarvan should even be looking for this. I don't think this is where he should spend his time. I think he should go around mid lane like a Mumu, so they can't just open up another tier 1 turret by setting Tristana down.
I agree. If I was Yang right now, I would still send the Sivir against Tristana, because she's the only one who can wave clear against her right now.
Yeah. And now they're just gonna take down the tier 1 without any contest, because I really can't do anything against it. And now the rest of TGU can just look for bot side. What is the point of popping a herald if you know that after the 1 tower they might just collapse onto you?
If they can get out,
they might be able to get out just in case, and in that case they still trade 1 for 1, but they did use the herald for it. And a flash array from Irelia because it got a little too far caught out. Now, there's no clear objective in mind right now. Oh, Amumu flashes in onto the Irelia and they just get the ult down and just immediately deletes Irelia. No chance of counterplay.
That was a really nice pick from Amumu.
Irelia queuing for an extra control board. Amumu saying, nope, guys, we're going in. And just easy kill. And now they can just siege mid. And while that is happening, Sion is still pushing bot, so they could also just sit there, let the minions push in, and just let Sion take bot lane. Sion has to back out now, as the rest of TGU has backed out as well.
Yeah, Jarvan is bot lane, he needs to care.
Now, Sion does have the ult up soon, but Jarvan has already got his ult up, so he could stop him in his tracks. And it looks like Sion will just go down, unless he gets to ult out. Flash from me, and it's not enough.
He actually gets out of there.
Just not enough respect from Young Esport's side. And a very non-tactical use of the Jarvan ult. If he had waited until the Sion had ulted himself, they could have gotten the kill.
Yeah, and Nivea even tried to flash in front of him.
Just a dire situation for Young now. Not a lot they can do from this position, as TGU has all the control, and they have Okong with 2 items, ready to push down any tower in his way.
Yeah, and you got a double shield support.
We also see that Baron is spawning soon, and with Okong being this hard, it's easy to see how they can rush it.
Yeah, even with the Mumu, they can just pick out anyone who's trying to contest the vision right now.
Yeah, and it seems like they might also be looking for the Drake. Now it is an Ocean Drake next time. So that is extremely useful when setting up sieges. Because they can just walk in, take that little bit of silver poke that they might be able to land onto the Tristana, and then they're just gonna heal it up again with Ocean. Poke is just going down from both sides as Ocean Drake is about to spawn.
Yeah, young Esport is again looking for this sign in the top lane.
Yeah, but this time Cyan does have flash, and Vladimir doesn't really have anything to chase down with.
But he's so tanky.
Yeah, but now the Karma TP is coming in, has to take the Lantern out. They might be able to catch up the Lulu and the Mumu though. As the Cyan ult does come out, they have a split up fight here, they have to go onto the Tristana, but she gets ulted up by Lulu. And Javan just goes down without anything. Cyan is on the backside stopping them from backing out. Now Vladimir is trying to go in here, but he can't really do anything. They do get the Cyan, but now Cyan's zombie mode is just gonna wreck over everyone else. Tristana does have the jump reset, but they just take Vladimir and goes 1 for 2.
Yeah, the Tristana was just untouched in the entire fight.
Yeah. They do start the Baron here, but like the rest of Young is already here, so they can't really be doing it.
They're still oh.
Wait, 9 of diamonds, you're way too far forward!
Oh no.
Oh! And but Tristana still has
flash.
Wait, Aurelia? Cleaning up the rest of the fight? Oh, but does get killed.
And
oh, but Tristana gets shot down by the Thresh!
And that was actually really good from
DPing from Vladimir, trying to look for everyone there. Young turning it around, ensuring that the Baron isn't secure. They do go 2 for 2, but still they get big shutdown onto the Tristana, and they make sure the Baron isn't. They can't take it. Like that's big. That's huge. They might even be able to take the Ocean Drake here.
I agree. They got both summoners from Tristana, so in the next 5 minutes they have a window to win the team fights.
Yeah, definitely so. And we also saw like this split up fight didn't turn out in TGU's favor whatsoever, especially because the Lulu had to flash over the Baron pit just to go close to her team. And once she actually got to buff the Tristana, it was way too early. She didn't need the buff, like the ult yet, because she wasn't even being engaged on. Now Tristana is looking for this fresh, he's very low, one more auto could do it. Amumu is going in, he does find Jarvan. As the Cyan ult go in, they might just get Jarvan here as he flashes. And he is going down. Vladimir is sitting top side right now, can't really join anything, so they're just gonna get this Drake for free. And possibly go towards Baron.
Yeah, I think they're gonna look for Baron now. This Tristana is just way too strong.
And they can't really deal with her because Amumu and Cyan will always just stand in front and pop whatever CC they have right on top of Tristana. Meanwhile, we have Karma and Lulu who jump shields her up. So there isn't anything they can do. They have to start focusing their game plan on we need to kill the Pulse and Okong at the same time. They need to find some big fight around a Baron or something, get all the AoE down at the same time, as we see them contesting the Baron. Vladimir is going in, but he is polymorph. Aurelia finds a good ult. They have yet to kill him, but they killed the Lulu. So that's one support down. We see that 9 of diamonds also was on the Tristana. Tristana does get out, but barely. They do also get the sign, so it is a 2 for 0 so far in the side of Young Esport. Really well
played.
And
they take the Baron.
Yeah, they might just be able to take the Baron here. Amumu can't steal it yet. He doesn't have his smite up, and they just get the Baron. Vladimir goes very deep in now, but can his team help him? Oh, and they can. They do trade 1 for 1 there, but it is again Okong who goes down. And while we see a pause. There has been internet issues for one of the players from TGU, but what an incredible fight that was. They did exactly that.
So exciting.
Team fight.
And this is what I talk about. They have the 5-minute window where Tristana don't have flash. and they punished her for it. They had a really good combo with Aurelia ultimate and Jarvan ultimate, and they actually won a 5v5, and they're actually ahead in gold now.
Yeah, and they also use the window of Baron because that's the one time where TGU no longer can just play it smart, and they actually do have to kind of group up to be able to target the Baron. And therefore, Vladimir just goes in, he gets hit by everything, he still gets his ult down because they can't delete him in time. And then both the Jarvan and the Aurelia just get to put all their ults down because now they can't stop them. And that means that 9 of Diamonds could just sneak around while everyone was just so focused on killing the support. And he just gets to get a lot of free auto attacks onto Okong until he presses him out. While not being an ideal fight, this was still very much some of the best fighting that Jørgen could have hoped for. And they do got a Baron and multiple kills out of it.
Yeah, I agree. It just showed that if they fight in the open where they get to engage on TGU, they can surely take the fight.
Definitely so. Though we do also see a few summoners go down in the result of this fight. Both the Vladimir and Aurelia use their flashes, so they can't just flash ult into the fight now. We also see the Amumu and the Karma's flashes being down, meaning that Karma could very much potentially be the one we look for to be caught out of position. We could also see that Amumu no longer has the ability to do any fancy engages, because if he messes his Q, he doesn't have any engage tool. Now, the most interesting I would like also to say is they do have 4 Baron buffs now. Vladimir did die, so he no longer has it, but they could just siege mid now and look towards getting at least 2 turrets.
I agree. I think it's really important for TGU that they still have their mid lane tower, because Jørgen is really wants to play 1-3-1, but since they haven't got the mid tower yet, it's actually pretty hard for them to just push the side lanes in.
Yeah, especially when Jørgen also has the Sevol, so they can't just run around very fast on the map without TGU being able to follow.
Yeah.
And there isn't really much they can do either to save the tier 2s. They could just have Okong sit there and the Karma just poke out the waves, but I don't think it's gonna be enough versus the Baron empowered minions.
I agree. If Jørgen Esport can take down this mid lane tower, it's really huge for them right now to play to their strengths.
Yeah. As the pause is about to be undone, and we still see that these teams have a plan. Alright, so most of them are gonna reset. The Aurelia is looking to perhaps bounce top lane wave, just so they can look towards pushing mid and top.
But
So
if I was Jørgen Esport, I would just put
I would have
Aurelia in the
reset the
side.
Aurelia immediately.
I agree. He did that now, but
Yeah.
who can answer the Aurelia on the side lane right now? She is so huge, and the Sion got magic resist.
Yeah, the best way to deal with the Aurelia right now would be to either look for a one-on-one with the Sion and hope that he can live enough, or have the Tristana and Lulu always try to answer, and in that case they will just open up the map. As
Yeah,
the first tier 1 tower in the mid lane is about to go down.
They go 5-man mid. I'm not sure how
I would have
good
said
that
one
is
person
against
in the side
Karma.
lane.
Yeah,
Uh,
Karma and Tristana can play really well in the mid lane.
Yeah, Karma is just pushing up bot lane right now. I do think that what Jørgen is thinking is Tristana is still big enough, and if they get a 5v4 fight, they might still be able to win it. So in that way, it does make a bit of sense.
They just got the mid lane tower.
Yeah, they did get that fairly easily, and they can just push down other lanes. It does seem like they are looking towards pushing down bot lane, but because Karma was down on removing the wave, they waste so much time with the Baron buff.
Yeah, I agree.
As we now see just TGU pushing back the mid lane as well, because Vladimir doesn't have this Baron buff, and nobody stayed there to help him with the wave. So they're basically just wasting the Baron buff so far, and that means that TGU just gets time to just wait it out, and they don't lose incredibly much.
Yeah, I think it's really huge for TGU that you don't lose.
Oh, Aurelia ult. She might just have found Karma here. Karma does pop the stopwatch as the TP is coming in from Sion. Now she might still be able to get Karma, but the flash
the
from
Lulu
Lulu
ultimate.
and ult, and now there's just gonna be a kill from Tristana. But on the other side, they also get the tier 2 from the mid lane, so in that way it's good, but definitely very well played by the part of TGU. Sadly, the big Aurelia play wasn't today.
But yes, that just showed how
Yeah,
strong
Amumu
Aurelia
engages.
is in the side lane.
Oh,
right
and
now.
this might just be a dead Jarvan. Almost dead, but not quite yet. He gets back out, but very big engage again. Almost killing members left and right. That also just shows that whenever this Amumu lands something, Okong can just delete it. Like, Jarvan survived here, but that was mostly because Okong didn't really have any tools left. He had already used his jump, and he wasn't ready for Amumu to keep going.
I think it's really huge for the next dragon here that Amumu don't have ultimate yet.
Yeah,
and they're just recalling.
Yeah, like it is another ocean drake, so it could again be very useful for the side of both teams, but I do still think that now that the Baron buff is out, that TGU definitely has the clear advantage. I do still think they can kill Okong if they just set it up nicely, but he does have his flash back up, and he can just 1v1 everyone on the enemy team, and he can definitely 2v3 if he has the Lulu with him.
I agree. But if you just put Vladimir and Aurelia in the side lanes, I think you could win this game by just playing the 1-3-1 game.
Yeah, hoping to just split them up enough that they don't know what to do. Definitely could be a valid strategy here. Now we do see the Knight's Vow coming out from Jarvan as well, so they also just telling, okay, our jungler has to be a tank this game. We can't have him running around being the damage dealer. We've got enough damage on our team as it is.
And we see the next Baron spawning in 1 minute, and I think that Baron is gonna decide the game.
That Baron buff could indeed be the game ending play, as it does form indeed soon. People are already getting ready to set vision up around it. I'm excited to see how the next fight is gonna play out. So far, the teams are looking towards mid and top lane, as I really might be going in here. They do get the Sivir ult. She does get the free ult down, and Lulu's already dead. Karma no flash. Tristana on the backside. She can't really enjoy the fight. Vladimir just running it down. Aurelia flashing. Tristana also flashing. As Amumu's coming in here, but he might have bit up too much. Jarvan ult does come down, but he can't just flash over the wall. 1 for 0, but a lot of flashes being burned, a lot of ults being burned, and that means that it's a good fight for Yearning in Esport.
Yeah, it was a really nice pick from Aurelia when they saw Sign in the top lane with no teleport.
Yeah, and also just that they be able to get this kill and still be able to go onto the Tristana, ensuring that she no longer has the flash, meaning that she will be so much easier to kill next time they find an opportunity like that. There might be a contest here for the side of TGU, but the Baron is so low, and it's not gonna be there. It's secured. Fresh is almost dead. He does go down. Can they get onto the Tristana? Aurelia does jump in. The stopwatch coming out for Vladimir. The people are so low right now.
Oh, the Tristana.
Tristana is so big. She's just dealing so much damage, and now she's able to just jump onto the Tristana, onto the Sivir. Vladimir is still alive, and Sivir is trying to run out. Sion does flash, and he's just gonna try and chase Sivir down.
I think Sivir is gonna kill him.
It's a one-on-one. Sion just grasped with the dying. Young Esport got the Baron, but they just didn't have the fight down. they had a very split focus, and even with a really well hit by a lot of abilities, they just got straight up out damaged because Tristana lived in the fight. And they do get the inhib tower, and they might also just get the inhib as there's still 8 seconds on the area. They will be backing out after this, just taking a few of the jungle camps with them.
Yeah, this is really huge for TGU to get the mid lane inhibitor. Young Esports really wants to play the 1-3-1, but with an inhibitor down in the mid lane, that just makes it really hard.
Yeah, especially also, the only Baron buff they have left now is on this Vladimir, so that means he actually has to group with his team to be of any use with it. And I don't think they can do that while Okong is still doing so much damage.
I agree, he is 10-2 and 5 right now, he is actually so big.
Now there has been a few huge pickups. Vlad does have the Sonya's, not the stopwatch, and he also has the Spellbinder now, so he does do quite a bit of damage, even though the Triss does have more, and Phantom Dancer and a lot of shields. The Vladimir can definitely be hurt when he has this much damage. There's also been a GA onto the Irelia, so next fight he can just go in on this Tristana looking for any kind of play, even going 1-for-1, because the GA will save him.
And we see another Ocean Drake spawning in 20 seconds.
Yeah. And in this point of the game, Ocean Drakes become less and less useful, but they're still very nice for setting up these sieges, and I believe that if TGU gets this, then Tristana is just basically able to stand with her team and just wait for them to go in.
Yeah, I agree. And they have the teleport on Sion this time.
I believe if it's possible that Okan can ult while Irelia is traveling in the air to go onto her, that would be the perfect time for her to ult, because that would basically just shut down any kind of kill threat they have onto her.
Yeah, or just polymorph the Irelia and just kill her right away.
Yeah. But without a doubt, even though Vladimir, Jobin and Irelia have a lot of engage, the Tristana is just too hard for them to kill currently, because she's got so many defensive tools, including items.
Yeah, I agree. He even picked off the morph of Malmorpheus.
Vladimir is looking for a pick down there, but he does get spotted out. Sion is pushing top lane by his lonesomes, and does look like he might be able to get a demolish proc up there and deal quite a bit of damage. There is TP from both top laners right now and Karma on the side of TGU, so they could go for quite a bit of cross plays around the map. Amumu is looking for vision right there. He does spot out the Jarvan, decides not to go in.
Oh, the damage.
Tristana just exploding people and exploding towers. Taking the tier 2 without much problem. While all of you are just looking on. Look at
Gold
that
lead
shield.
is still even, that's actually impressive.
Yeah, because while Okong has all of the gold for the side of TGU, they do have it a bit spread out more on Young. They do have quite a bit, especially on that Irelia. And while we haven't been able to see the Irelia quite kill Okong in the last few fights, he still does quite a lot of damage, and he does force Okong out of the fight for a limited amount of time.
Yeah, we even see Sever hits the 3 item spike now as well, so she's gonna do a lot of damage now as well.
Yeah. And Amumu also already gotten 4 items. He's got an incredible amount of gold. Also rocking the 5-1 and 7 score with 192 CS, even as much as his solo laners.
Yeah, he is actually really tanky.
Of course, both the supports not having as much gold as the rest of their teams, but they are catching back up. Their gold is just distributed more evenly around the side of Young, while TGU is more focused. As they do catch out the Amumu, but can they get him?
Nice ultimate.
Yeah. The TP is also coming in from Sion. Irelia is going in, but can they get Okong? Okong flashes out. He does get the Lolo ult on top of him. Can they go in? No kills yet. They are looking towards killing the Amumu now. They do get the Amumu and they do get the reset. They hit the hook and they kill the Tristana and they kill the Cyan. Young Esport just got a free 4-0. And they might be looking for Baron.
That was a really nice fight from Young Esport.
Yeah, definitely. Like, we see the Aurelia go in, they don't get her immediately, they can't even kill her. They don't even get the GA down. And then we just... Oh, her GA is already down. Oops. No, they have nothing on her and Okang just has no way of dealing with anything, so the rest of the damage just goes onto Amumu. They get the reset off, and after Okang and his supports have burned everything on him, he just gets immediately deleted off the Aurelia. And they just snowball this fight into a Baron, and they might just be looking to siege through mid lane now.
This just showed the power spike from Vladimir and Siva. I think it was really important for both of them to get free items.
Yeah, definitely so. And while Okang definitely is still the strongest person in this game, he has just picked up his last item as well. We still have to remember that Vladimir, Aurelia and Siva are all also late game scaling teams. So it's just about who can play the team fights better, and so far they have just been able to stall out all of Okang's buffs and then go in the little time period they have left. And now that Okang doesn't have sums, it's gonna be even easier for them to do so.
Oh,
They
is
do
Lulu gonna get caught out
here?
here?
Does look after this Lulu. He might be able to get something.
And Okang is caught out as almost caught out as well.
Meanwhile, Vladimir is just pushing on the other side. Amumu just get a big ult down on 2 people.
And
Aurelia just
Okang
get ult
is
down
alone.
onto the Tristana. Tristana might die. Okang, he's down. Amumu is getting little older, but it's not enough. He's just trying to flash out. But Jarvan now coming down. He's just gonna go down. But he might get someone with him. Jarvan is already dead. And Vladimir is going in again. But they're killing everyone. Currently, they are still doing enough damage with this Karma.
Wow. This
Meanwhile,
Karma
we see Seba
damage
doing
is
some
doing
damage
so
onto the
much right
side.
now. And the shields everywhere.
Yeah, nobody's dying on the side of... They finally get the Cyan down, but they survived with so little HP.
Oh.
That was a big turnaround from the side of TGU. They get Tristana down, but they still somehow survive the fight. Even through a Baron empowered 5-man stack. They still managed to both get down the Vladimir and the Jarvan. So now the play has to be this Elder Drake, as we see Karma teleporting in behind them.
From behind?
Yeah, but the play's been seen. Young has already seen the play. They do get the hook onto the Karma, and they might just be able to kill her. She does use her Sonya's, but she is dead. There's no way Karma gets out of that one. So the next fight is gonna be a 5v4. The Elder Drake's already up and living.
That was pretty unlucky. That seemed to be the TGU's Elder Drake, but now Young Esport have the priority on the Elder Dragon.
And just when everything looked to go back into the TGU's favor, the games turn around again. And that was a very premature teleport in, and they was punished immediately. And now they just go onto this Elder. And it looks like there's gonna be a contest from the side of TGU. But they doesn't look like they can do it in time, and it does just go over for free. And a 5-man stack with 2 Dragon Elder. Now, we do also see a gold lead coming out now for Young. A 3k gold, no, a 6k gold lead actually. And we do just see them get ready to push in this mid lane, maybe finally breaking open one of these inhibitors.
Yeah, TGU just wants to stall out this Elder Dragon, but Vladimir and Siva are just getting so strong right now.
Yeah, and Vladimir is just pushing this bot lane in by himself, so he also needs someone responding to him. As he is being caught out here, He's 1v5 currently, while the rest of his team is going top lane, and he's just dying for free.
That was a really nice pick from TGU.
Yeah, Vladimir being way too far forward, not respecting that they have not been, that they aren't top lane yet, and they only get the tier 2 turret. While still definitely being useful, this was not worth, because there's a massive death time on the Vladimir. And now TGU has all the time in the world to stall out this Elder Drake, because they know for a fact that they can win a 5v4 even with it.
Yeah, I agree, the pick was really important, and only losing one tower for the Elder Dragon.
One thing I also want to point out is that this Tristana doesn't have any GA. Her defensive items are the more in Phantom Dances, so if you ever kill her in a fight, you are sure that she will stay dead.
And Sivas going for the Blade of the Rune King last item. That's interesting.
It is understandable due to the two tanks, but it's not something you would see in every game. She already has an armor pen item, and you would expect her to just buy something maybe a more defensive like a QSS. But she has decided that it's more important for her to shred the tanks as Irelia and Vladimir is being focused on more, which does make sense in this situation.
And we actually see the Tristana swapping her boots for a
Lulu might be caught
Bloodthirster.
out here. As Jarvan does go in, he can get a big ult down, but he's currently crowd control for a million years. They do get this big 5v5 fight. Vladimir is on the backside, Karma flashing, Lulu flashing, Lulu ulting. Ivelia's on the Tristana, maybe just getting a bound on the backside. Jarvan's already dead. We also see the Sonya coming
Okong
out here.
survived on the side.
Yeah, Tristana's still behind. No, she's back. Oh, Irelia going in, gets the Lulu, but she might just go down in return. No, she gets G8, but Karma is down as well. So far, it's a 1 for 2.
Okong is coming back with full HP now. Oh, he's just alone.
2 kills for the side of Young, while only 1 for TGU, and they might just get the mid lane turret now. Elder Dragon is no longer available, because the buff is down, but they do have Baron possible after they've taken down this inhibitor.
Yeah, I really think Okong needs to position better in these fights.
Yeah,
He's getting caught out every time by the Irelia.
Yeah, and also the fact that he can't be buffed up by his supports as long as he's staying away from them. There's no point in them trying to play around him if they can't even get near him. But now Baron seems to be the play, as every member for the side of both teams is about to be ready to spawn. Though there has been an inhibitor down for mid lane right now, it should still be possible for TGU to contest this Baron.
I agree. As I said last time, I really think this Baron is gonna decide the game. I expect the team to getting the Baron is just gonna run straight through mid.
Yeah, as they are starting it now.
But I expect
But it does look
big
like
team
they
fight now.
might
Oh,
not
Okong
be
is in
able,
base.
because
They're just
and
giving
also
up the
Amumu is
Baron.
on the wrong side of the map, and it's just a free Baron. Well, if we talk about deciding the game, not going to stop a Baron is probably a good place to start.
I really think Young is just gonna. If they even have
They're
an
just gonna open
inhibitor
top
down
lane.
in mid lane, so they're just gonna open top lane, yeah.
And this looks like a perfect opportunity for them. 5-man stacking Baron, just getting a bit extra damage onto the Sion now. Irelia is going in. Tristana has already gotten the Lulu ult. They might just kill the Tristana. Tristana's down! Amumu can't do anything. Lulu's
Yeah.
are down. And they could just go for the tower here. Irelia just focusing it down. It's showing no more damage from that. Now they might just be able to get onto the Amumu.
I
Vladimir
think this
in
is
the
gonna be the
backside,
game.
poking everyone down. He's actually going onto the Karma, but he can't really get it because he's too tanky. But they can just end the game. Now, if they just focus the towers, focus the Nexus. They're going for KDA so far, but Seba is finally being able to kill the game, and they are taking it to the game 4.
I think it was really well played from Jarvan and Aurelia to keep getting Tristana out of position, but I really think she just needs to stick with her supports. Always she got caught on the side.
Yeah, like Irelia always got into her, and she should always be alive. Like, they were winning for such a big majority of the game because of how good he was playing on the Justana. But then he just kept getting away from his team, and his team just doesn't have enough damage. There was only one fight where his team could actually do something because they had already used everything. But just the pure fact that these guys have even better late game scaling means that once Okang is just out of the fight, they're just done. Like, there's nothing more they can do.
Yeah, the entire team is built around a hyper carry ADC, and then he gets picked out, and then it's just really hard to win the fight.
Definitely is. So
But
very
it
well
was
played.
a really close game.
Yeah, and it was also a very long game. The game was taking over the 45-minute mark, which is actually not that common in the current League of Legends landscape. We are looking more towards these 30-minute games, but this was incredibly well played, and both teams were looking to win this one by playing extremely aggressive.
Yeah, and I can see we're gonna have a short break here, and we're gonna be back in 5 minutes.
Yes. See you in a bit.
to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment, now is your time. So prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up, reach for the summit. Visions brave, the one falls, steadily the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you.
Hello and welcome back. We are currently 3 games into the best of 5 series between Yearning Esport and TGU Esport. And what an incredible game we just had. 45 minutes with a Yearning Esport victory. Looking for to close it out here in game 4. We see now that there's a 2-1 lead for Yearning, and we are now looking to another incredible game as we are closing in. Well, will you just recap the game?
Yeah, it was a really close and a really long game compared to the first 2 games. It was really close the entire game, and it was just decided by the one last fight.
Yeah, and we saw both teams being ahead multiple times in the game, and we saw especially Okong really stepping up on this Tristan and really getting a lot of leads. They took a lot of these early game focused fights that Yearning had done in the first 2 games, and they turned that into their favor. But then they just couldn't quite finish the game because of the Okong couldn't kill all of them, and I just kept running onto him. And it was really well played for both sides, but it did in the end go down to Okong got caught out once more, got killed, and then the rest of Yearning Esport just killed TGU, and in the end ended the game.
Yeah, I really think this Irelia was a big problem. If I'm TGU, I wouldn't like to play against Irelia if I want to play the same composition again.
Definitely not. And this is also the big question now, what are both teams gonna ban out? Because we have seen a few adjustments last game, but what are they gonna do now? They just had an incredibly long game, they have to think, and they have had a bit of time to come up with strategies. But what are these teams really looking for? Okong did do a lot of carrying on this Tristana. They did see this Karma come through mid lane 2 games in a row, looking very strong. But what are the problems that TGU has in the eyes of Yearning Esport? It's gonna be very fun to see, because this was an incredible game that Yearning was close to losing multiple times, though they did close it out with a victory.
Yeah, I agree, and I'm really excited to see if TGU are going to stick to the defend the ADC composition even though they lost with it, or are they going to play something else now?
Definitely, especially after we've seen so many adaptional bans now here in game 2 and 3. We saw especially the Sejuani finally being banned out, the Morgana finally being banned out. Of course, we still saw the Atrox and Katarina because of the big performance in game 1, but we really do need to think about what is being allowed for every player, because we can definitely see that the problem so far has been that Okong has been carrying. He's mostly been carrying on that Caitlyn because of Redline, and he also been carrying on the Tristana because of the Lulu, and Karma kept shielding him, but he's just not been enough in last game. So will he actually get enough pressure, or will the adaptation be to go more for the mid and top laner?
Yeah, we're going to see it when we are going to the... we're in the Champions League now.
Yeah.
And they banned Aatrox again. That's really...
It's not surprising at all.
Oh.
After the first performance on Nvidia, they do not want to watch Aatrox, and that is not hard to imagine why. As we do see Darius still being banned, maybe they're just not feeling like going up against a Darius main, and it's understandable. Darius can do some really big laning plays, especially 1-on-1 or 1-on-2.
And Katarina ban again.
Yeah, so much standard. We also do expect the Kai'Sa ban to perhaps come out again, and then maybe either the Sejuani or Morgana ban as well. I do want to see though if Redline is allowed to either play as Morgana or maybe even get his Fresh. That could be interesting.
Maybe they could also ban the Fresh since they have first pick now, so they are forced to ban the Sejuani. Yeah,
definitely. I do think that Jurgen is considering banning the Seju, but I also do think that they would probably rather ban the Morgana, given how big Redline's Morgana performance was in the first 2 games. But the Jarvan is banned out now, so if they don't ban the Seju, there's gonna be a clear jungle difference.
Yeah, the Morgana ban comes in here.
As we did expect, but that also probably means it is gonna be a Sejuani first pick. As it is also just immediately locked in for Lords. Maybe here, probably going into jungle, as nothing else really makes sense at the moment.
But now they could maybe go back either the Fresh or the Serenity.
Yeah.
Because now they aren't playing against Morgana.
Of course, Serenity wasn't banned for them in the last game. But because the Fresh is open, I do expect that there is a chance that yep, they're going for that again. And then they might just pick up the Sivir, just to close out what they did in the last game. Just saying, why fix what ain't broke?
I think they're gonna pick Sivir here. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
They picked the Kayn! Okay, that's not something we've seen a lot.
And it's not a placeholder, that's really exciting.
Yeah, so I do see the point in Kayn. I would like to explain that Kayn is really strong at the moment, especially in his Darken form. He can still be very much useful, and he's a really good pick against what we've seen from TGU, such as the Sejuani and such as the Mundo they've just logged in. So he gets his Darken form really fast, and he gets to trade with his Conqueror and just heal up, as Nautilus is being hovered. Oh my god. Yeah, so this is the Kayn's wet dream. 3 melee tanks that he can literally just heal on top of and just get his Darken form off, as Vayne is being hovered. Oh, both teams are really pulling out all of the tricks now. With the Nautilus being pulled out, most likely for support, could also be mid, but now it's a Vayne and Kayn locked in for HJE-Fryseren. Really exciting. Now, I do expect to see a few ADC bans towards Okong. Yeah, the Caitlyn is being banned out.
And I think they want to put Okong on a hyper carry again, since they got such a beefy front line already.
Yeah, definitely. They don't want anyone who can just solo carry the game. And I do expect that to be the Nautilus support. It is more common. So just straight up banning ADCs that can be really strong with him is gonna be really big. There is still the potential, of course, of mid lane bans. We have already seen the Aurelia being banned away, and I do expect we also get to see the Heimerdinger banned, and maybe the Talia, but I would say the Heimerdinger is probably a bigger problem, as Talia doesn't really deal as much damage against tanks. Karma is banned away from the Cavalier on the side of TGU, as Vladimir is also banned away. Which means that we might potentially see a Heimerdinger.
Yeah,
I never
that would be fun.
Yes. Both solo lane positions are open, and we do see the Mundo being already locked in, so I do think this is gonna be a Nivea's pick. Looking into a good matchup here. I would probably expect the tanks to come through, and
Oh,
it
the
does.
Tamkins again.
Yeah, it didn't work out in game 2, but I still think that there's quite a bit of hope, especially because they now have the vein for late game scaling. So 9 of Diamonds, while not being on the perhaps strongest ADC in the meta right now, can still deal a lot of damage to these tanks if it just gets enough autos down, as we see the Sire being locked in. Alright. We haven't seen Okong in the Sire yet. 9 of Diamonds have played in 2 games so far. But is it actually a Nautilus meta, and could it be a Rakan support, or is this just the mid lane pick last?
Oh, the Cinder hover. Or this.
Oh, the
what?
Yasuo hover though. See, that would be really exciting, but it is
But
just gonna be the
yeah,
Syndra.
they need the magic damage.
It also makes a lot of sense given that it is a Vayne, so if we ever see the Cavalier just land that Syndra E or get Nautilus ult onto the Vayne, he can just flag forward and kill the Vayne instantly. Nico? I would like to see a Nico. I think Nico would fit very well into the comp here of just disrupt those tanks and make sure we can kill Cyan Syndra.
I think Nico could be a really good pick here, yeah.
Yeah, and that is it. So we do see, of course, Syndra in the mid lane, Nautilus support. I would not expect it to be any other way.
Nah.
And we do also probably see the Tarm top and lane ADC here. So we do have some pretty fun lanes to watch, because we get to see a lot of picks that hasn't been used yet. We see the Nautilus for red line, which is of course a really strong support and can play really aggressively, probably even more aggressive than Fresh. And Sire being incredibly good early game as well. We do see both Nico and Syndra, which are 2 mages we haven't seen yet in the series. I do think Nico is a little stronger than Syndra, but I think Syndra is way better at killing squishies like Vayne. And that is exactly why I think we should really watch out for the Syndra this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's really gonna depend a lot on the bot lane in this game.
Yeah, and also just the fact that we see a Kayn who doesn't really have a lot of impact early. He wants to gank, but he doesn't really want to gank for the kills. He doesn't want to do it for the XP. He wants to do it for the small orbs that is gonna deal with his essence for his Starken form. So I do expect him to be a lot in this top side, or maybe even just Wing the Sejuani whenever he sees her, and then just butter off to back into his own jungle. Because base Kayn, while incredibly good at clearing still, is pretty useless when it comes to fights.
Yeah, I agree. I think Saya is gonna shove in the game pretty hard early game, so
Yeah.
that makes a lot of free time for Sejuani.
And we do see the clans coming out for Syndra, so I do think that's a good pickup. I would probably rather have seen Barrier, but cleansing the Nico E can be a really big help. So, and even if Fresh would later on hits, you can also just get out of that.
Yeah.
I do think Nico wins the lane against Syndra, but given that Sejuani can still gank, I do still think that Nico has to be very careful, because if Syndra starts snowballing, it's gonna be very noticeable, as the Vayne is the primary damage dealer for the side of Young Esport.
Yeah, I agree. After level 6, Nico really needs to care mid. When he even got Ignite, that's pretty ballsy to play with Ignite against Syndra, Sejuani and Nautilus.
Yeah. Though we have seen this top lane matchup before, I do think that Kayn has to walk around it. I can't expect Kayn to do anything except getting his form early, because if he doesn't, then he's gonna really drag down his team with him. Because while Kayn is really good in the mid game, he's not exactly either an early game or a late game champion. He can easily be played in both parts, but he's not the best in that position. I do, however, also want to adjust that as long as they don't have any way of bursting him down, he's most likely just gonna run over these tanks, just never dying and just being a huge nuisance.
Yeah, if Kayn can get an early transform, that could really be a huge difference.
Yeah, especially because you could then just start focusing around this Syndra and Saya more. Because the big thing for young esports team composition is they want to go front to back, but they also want Syndra and Saya to not kill the Vayne.
Yeah, I agree.
So they want to kind of kite out, but at the same time, Kayn is not somebody who goes back, he's somebody who goes in. So they have a lot of tank threat, but they do it in a lot of different ways. I do, however, like to see that it is the Glacial Augment Nico build, so we will see a lot of crowd control coming down, making it even easier for Vayne to carry this one. I do think in large parts this comes down to how good can Nine of Diamonds play this Vayne, as we're looking to jump into the next game here.
Yeah, when Vayne is gonna hit the 2 item spike and get the QSS, I think he can really do a lot in these team fights. But before that, I really would put the favor in Okon.
Yeah, definitely. Early laning phase should also be really fun to watch from both mid and the bot lane's point of view. I do expect to see that Kayn will do some Kayn kind of clears, some that are not exactly conventional, because he really needs to get these stacks instead of just looking for kills. But I do also think we have to keep a good eye on mid and bot, because they will have a big impact in this early game, as they're looking for invade. Ooh, and the ward almost goes down, but not quite. There is an invade topside for both the topside river and...
Yeah, they got the early vision to spot out the Kayn.
And that has just been the style here. The first game and the third game there hasn't been much early vision, and here in the second and fourth there has. Now Kayn is gonna start Raptors apparently. So we are probably gonna see Kayn take a complete topside clear into a gank onto the Mundo, but Mundo will indeed know that Kayn is doing that.
Yeah, he got a early ward everywhere on the top side.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we also have to just look that this is the first game where Sejuani has this much help in proccing her E. We do see both Nautilus and Mundo being melee champs and can help her proc it, which means that she can be much more useful in these fights that's drawn out. Which they most likely are going to be, given the fact that the enemy is playing a very front to back kind of playstyle.
And we can actually see Kayn going for the invade.
Yeah. Early invade without even taking his own red buff.
Yeah, but I think he was spotted by the ward, but no reaction from Sejuani. Okay.
I also just want to quickly look at... They know that Sejuani, what route she's taken as well. They know for a fact that she also started red buff, so Kayn can do this without much punish. While I don't think it's necessarily the best way of doing it, because he does get spotted out, it's definitely still really good, because if Sejuani doesn't go for the invade, she's gonna be really far behind.
Yeah, it just looked like she just lost her blue buff for free.
Yeah, she is coming down bot side now, so she might just be able to invade the Kayn's blue. As all lanes are currently just doing a lot of poking down, a lot of CSing. Nothing too
He's
dangerous
going
is
for the
happening
lane
yet.
gank instead.
Now that's interesting, because we have seen TGU try this before, but just like the other times, I don't think it's gonna work out. As Nico lands that brood, could get a bit of damage in, but Syndra also just immediately reacting. Now, I don't think this is entirely correct by the Sejuani. I think this is very greedy.
Yeah.
I know that they are probably a little bit nervous, but even though they have this much damage, all they have to do is basically just don't go too far up, and then it will be a free, useless minute of Sejuani's time.
Yeah, she wasted so much time for that gank.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Nico's looking to hit this Sejuani.
I think Sejuani's dead here. He got ignite.
And Sejuani just flashes out.
That was so close.
But that's a sum for some, and it's a flash onto the jungle who's already behind. So I think it's really worth in the side of HJE-Fryseren, because as long as Kane doesn't fall behind early, that means they have such a bigger room in really scaling up this vein.
Yeah, I agree. Sejuani is gonna have
a
really hard time the next 4
both
minutes.
flashes in top lane. I just want to be sure that we are all also on the same time, because we did have some technical issues before. I'm currently at 4:44:45 as Kane is going down bot lane.
Yeah, same by me. You see the hooker now too.
Yeah, and this is good for Kane, because this is the melee guy in the bot lane that he can get the stacks off. But Nautilus actually survives!
Oh, yeah, he did survive?
Yeah, so that was a really well played by Nautilus. He flashes and then Qs, ensures the fact that he gets out to safety, and also gets the Kane flash in the process.
Both the Vayne and the Kane flash, that was actually really
Vayne
good.
also fucking flash. Oh my god. Oops, no swearing, no swearing, I said fluff.
Yeah. That was actually really important for Nautilus not to die.
Yeah. But very well played by the Nautilus. Redline really been outperforming expectations. He's really been stepping up for his team, really doing all of the big plays.
Yeah, he's been playing really good every game this series.
Meanwhile, we just see the rest of the lanes just doing fine. There's already been a slight gold lead over to the side of HJE-Fryseren, and that is also mostly because that Sejuani has been so far behind after this early game, and also that Anivia has been playing this lane incredibly good, doubling the CS of Sleepy.
Yeah, I think Sleepy just learned to pay more respect to the Tahm Kench early in the 1v1. Last time he got solo killed once or twice.
Yeah, and it also means that we just still have the extra man always there, because we can always rely on Tahm Kench being the first one to arrive in a fight with both ult and TP.
Yeah, and we see Tahm Kench picking up the Bramble Vest instead of the Rod of Ages as the first item.
And I do think that's smart, because Mundo is one of the few people who has enough health regen to warrant this. I don't think it's necessarily needed instead of the Barmy Cinder perhaps, or even like going for one of the other more tanky items, even a defensive magic resist item. But still very, very good to pick up, because that means that Mundo can't just out-sustain forever, and he almost forces Mundo to take fights with him. Now it is an Infernal Drake spawning, and I do think that both teams will be very eager to get this.
For sure, and I think Sejuani should look bot lane when she hits level 6, as Vayne still haven't got her flash up yet.
Yeah, as a jungler, when I have a plan in mind, I do sometimes get to waste time when I can't execute that plan, and that's what we just saw with the Sejuani here. Wanted to go bot lane, try to contest Drake, but now has to actually go top side of the map, because there isn't really anything to do except contesting a Drake where she doesn't know where Kane is yet.
And we
Meanwhile,
see Kane
top lane could look for potential onto this Mundo, but he's most likely just gonna go for this red buff.
Yeah.
Both junglers just farming it up currently. Not too much happening in this game. Just a bit of CS lead, a bit of flashes blown. No immediate just slaughter fest yet. But we have time. We're already 3 games into this series after all, and we have seen that these teams can be incredibly aggressive whenever they want to.
Yeah, we have seen some really good games from both teams, and a really, really close and long game. And this has been played with a lot of respect compared to the other games.
Now we see
And
top lane.
maybe
Sejuani
see
is
the
coming
top
in
lane,
though.
yeah. No
Anivia
flash
doesn't
on
have
top
a
Kench.
vision of it as the Sejuani ult just gets popped here. Anivia doesn't have flash yet. Might just go down. Sejuani's W should be up soon, and it comes down. It doesn't
Oh,
quite
no.
kill. It has to flash out, but Moon gets the kill. But it is gonna be a trade, 1-for-1.
That was actually really well played from Anivia, and that gonna end up in an Infernal Drake for young Esport as well.
Yeah, there is gonna be a contest from TGU, but is it gonna be enough? Nico.
Oh. Oh, Desire
Kane
damage.
is still on the Drake. He does get it, but the rest of the team has to now clean up. It is so far 1-for-1. Kane dies. As we now see Vayne tumbling in.
Damage.
Syndra flashing over, the heal going down, and Syndra's gonna get another one.
Wow.
It's a 4-for-1 in the favor of TGU. Even
This
though
was-
that Jorin gets an Infernal Drake, we cannot know what it was truly worth there, because the kills almost all went down to the carriers.
That was really well played from Okong. That damage from the feathers from the ultimate was so huge.
Yeah, both Okong
Wow.
and Dekavili on the Syndra played that incredibly well.
Yeah, that was really nice. And we see the Bammy Cinder on Kane. I've never seen that before.
I think that it's mostly because he knows that even if he goes for the damage items, he's not gonna ever go onto the Syndra and Sire. So we'd rather just invest into the Cinderhawk. I don't think that it's ever really worth, but it might actually work out. He's probably played a bit more Kane than I have, to be fair.
We'll see.
Yeah. I do still think he's gonna go for Black Cleaver though. I do think that not going for it would be kind of weird.
Yeah,
I also think he is either gonna be looking for Death Stance or Spirit Visage after that. Just any health item really. Could just be good on him. Might even go for Asterix this game. He could go for a lot of items, especially with Cinderhawk. That means he can buy more health oriented items. Even though you normally go for more damage oriented with Kane.
And you can actually see Okong already finished his Essen Reaver.
Yeah. Those kills bot side, including that CS lead he has, lets him buy this item really fast. While Vayne still is sitting a bit down on gold so far. We also see that Rift Herald has spawned and it could be a potential spot because both junglers are topside. Now the big thing I also want to mention is that the mid laners have a big difference now in gold as well. There is about a 600 gold lead for the Syndra with these 2 kills. And with a stopwatch ready, can actually be looking for a pick with a Sejuani ult. Now, it looks like that they're gonna try and look for some bot lane focus here. Might honestly go 4 versus 2 here. Oh wait, Time is coming back on top lane while Kane is there. Might be looking for Mundo, but they can't really do anything as he pops ult. And they are
Sejuani is
just getting
still
it.
looking bot lane.
Yeah.
Can he really do the 3v2 dive?
Vayne does have ult up, does have flash up. So
She's spotted now.
yeah.
Yeah, she's going back again.
Yeah. They did also see the Kane on top side and they can't just let him get Herald for free. I do think Sejuani is gonna go up towards her red and then Kane is just gonna keep scouting out the jungle looking for every camps. Oh, they do
Nautilus
get a pick
is
onto the
keep getting
Nautilus here.
hooked on bot lane. He almost
Not
died.
quite killed, but they did get a lot of damage in and they might honestly be looking for a fight. As long as Nautilus doesn't get a Q down onto Vayne, they could honestly be looking for it.
Yeah, and fake Taxi Fresh is keep showing why he's
Oh,
named
but
Fresh.
Nico has disguised himself as fake Taxis Fresh and is currently looking for quite a play. Oh, but he does get spotted out by the ward there, so they do know what their plan was, and they don't
Yeah.
get baited in. But it was such a smart play there from the side of Jorin. Just sad that it was spotted out a bit in before. But it's this kind of creativity that can really turn a game around, because somebody will just forget that Nico exists in the game, and just be like, oh, that's a free kill, and then suddenly there's just a pop blossom killing everyone. Meanwhile, they've already gotten 3 plates down in bot lane. Really been
Yeah, and the
pushing their lead.
18 CS lead on the Sire. She is already 800 gold up on Vayne.
Yeah, so both these carries from the side of TGU has been doing really well. Also, every game that has been won in this series has been from blue side, and it is TGU on blue side this game. So it might just be that both teams are better to play on that side of the map as the Drake is about to spawn, and it is a mountain Drake.
And you can see Nico is in the bot lane again now. I'm pretty sure the Nico is in the lane.
Yeah, it's a Nico currently disguised as Fresh, as he might be engaged here by Redline.
Yeah. Oh.
And
the
Redline
teleport
might be a
from
bit
behind.
too far in. Oh, Sayal down. TP coming in from both of the top laners. Nico's already down though. Tom is trying to look for Okong, but he
Got him.
Okong used both of his sums as well, and Nivium just has to be looking to get out, but he might honestly get a pick onto Redline. He's very low.
Yeah.
And he does
Wow.
get it.
That was
Trading
really well
2
played
for
from
2.
Anivia.
Anivia played that so well.
Yeah.
He turns an entire fight around that was actually going really badly, even though it was started by Young, because they couldn't really get any damage down. It was actually all up to Anivia to finish that fight in a positive way. And while the Mountain Drake is falling down, when you start a bad fight and most people from the enemy team actually comes down and you go even, that should be fine.
And they instantly ping the Herald. Are they going for it?
They might also be looking for some Herald here. Has vision on it. Kane is only level 9, so not entirely too strong right now, and still has not got his form. He might just go up to Mundo just to hit him a few times.
Yeah, you can see Kane is building towards the Black Cleaver now as well.
Yeah, already finished his first item, and he does have quite a bit of cooldown reduction thanks to Kill Gem now, and that is gonna help us clear a bit. Of course, one of the big things and the reason why I also think that Warrior is needed on Kane is because of the cooldown lag. As there's 3 people
look,
top lane. Yeah, Mundo is being caught out, he has no flash. Oh, the tongue lash misses. But Tom should be able to get one last auto off, nice, and Chess just gets that kill. And maybe he even gets his form soon.
Yeah, they're gonna get the Herald, but TGU are looking for a 4-man play bot lane. Or Yang is just giving up
and that's
tower.
first hurt. So we're just currently seeing a match split in half. 4 TGU members on the bot side, and
They keep going for the next tower as well.
yeah, because there's no response on the other side. And now we see Fresh just being caught out because Nautilus is just OP with Sechu. And now we see Syndra just one-hitting the Vayne.
Whoa, that was really well played from the
And this is the problem. They were all focused so much on Herald that they could literally just run them down bot lane because Vayne is late game scaling. And Syndra and Saya has so much power at this point that they can just deal damage on the turret, and Nautilus and Sejuani can tank it so long that they're almost taking the inhib turrets as well now.
Yeah, and in the meantime, Cheston just popped the Herald mid and got nothing out of it.
Yeah. So really well played by TGU, and a big mistake from Young not realizing that they can't fight that.
This Sire is really big now. She is 2.2k up on Vayne now. That's actually so huge. She hit 2 items after 18 minutes.
Yeah, and this is also what we have highlighted about these two teams. They might start off just getting a few sums, not really doing anything with the sums they get down. But once they start fighting, they continue to fight. And they continue. And they don't stop. Now they're looking for a bit of vision, but truly they are definitely looking to fight for anything right now. While Young is just trying to stay in it, really just scale up this Kane and Vayne, getting the Kane form and get that mid lane turret, because that might be bugging them a bit too much.
Yeah. Now we see Tom Kenzie got Sunfire Cave instead of the Rod of Ages, so he might survive the side lane easier than he did last time.
And we also can believe that that is probably the better item to go.
Yeah,
especially
I
in
agree.
this matchup. Sunfire also helps him clear a bit, so he should be able to hold himself even against that bot lane. I do, however, think that bot lane is still gonna be able to take the tower, just walking up, hitting a tower a few times.
But you can see Tom Kent is actually clearing pretty fast.
Yeah, he's doing a good job, as Nautilus is caught out. He does have flash,
yeah.
but we still have the Kayn here, he does hit. He's now going on to the Sire actually. Nico and Tam are both going for...
But you can
Nautilus
see
currently.
Kane don't have enough damage
Yeah,
yet.
Sejuani is coming up.
Oh, Kane actually
Oh.
survived.
And Nivea just gets it, yeah. Kayn just survives with 1 HP so far, but Syndra's coming up.
Oh, what? Oh, yeah. And
this
they
is
got a
just-
Nivea instead.
And this is Young's problem right now. They do a nice job, but then they take way too long in actually getting their job done, so the rest of the TGU members have an incredible amount of time to actually go and join the fight. And this ends up with a top tower down and a 1-for-1 trade, which is not in favor of Young Esport, as they've been on the losing side of trades for a long time now.
Yeah, we can even see the GOAT lead has extended to 4.5k. As they almost managed to get the bot tower.
Yeah. The Mundo is dealing quite well with this bot lane, not going overly aggressive, doing any risky plays, just playing it safe, ensuring that he's not the one throwing for his team. Very nice.
Yeah. And the Young Esports haven't reset yet, so TGU got the priority on the dragon now.
Yeah.
Even though Tam Kench is moving down, but
yeah.
Chris is recalling, so they can't really contest it.
Yeah, this is definitely just gonna be a free Ocean Drake, and while we have all 3 of the first towers down for TGU, they have to be looking towards this dragon, or no, the Baron. Because Baron is up right now, and if they just get enough vision down on it, I'm pretty sure they can just fight there and just win the game off it. Like,
Yeah,
they only need a 1 pick onto either the Kayn or the Vayne, and they should just be able to take Baron.
yeah, I agree, but they really want the mid tower as well, and that's a huge
Oh yeah, they
thing on
haven't taken
getting
down.
vision around Baron.
Yeah.
But it should also be really easy for them to siege against so many Kayn
As they're
and
fighting in
Tam
mid
Kench
lane.
and the low range.
Oh, Knowledge being caught out here. He is dead to the pop blossom. Meanwhile, they're focusing this Sejuani. Vayne is just getting the resets off. They did kill the Kayn on the back end. Sire did flash out. Oh, we see the flash in from Vayne here, going onto the Syndra, kills the
Oh, they
Syndra.
can keep going now.
Mundo ults, but can they get away
This
from
Mundo
Mundo?
is so big now.
Vayne is very low. Sire gets 1 auto off and she dies. It's a 2-on-2. Nico's trying to join, but Fresh is already
Oh,
dead.
this Mundo is just
Time is still
running them
he
down.
flashes out. They're actually gonna dive. Nico's coming back in, but they should not be focusing the Mundo. They can't deal with them. They do a pop ignite onto him, but they should be focusing on the Sire.
Oh,
They hit the Sire
he's-
and she's shut down. Nice play from Young. So that was an incredible fight, because it started off with Young winning it because of Redline being a bit too far forward and his team not being ready. Then they turn it around with the Sire and the Syndra just landing a very good sphere onto the Vayne. So half her health was already gone. And then they turn it around once again with the Nico landing a nice E onto the Okong. Really showing that these teams, they keep going in these fights and they just won't back down.
Yeah, it was really well played from the Nico ultimate there in the fight.
Yeah, the pop blossom was really well done. Just killing Nautilus off and rooting 3 more people inside just turned a really big fight in their favor. And it also just makes the gold lead a bit easier for them to deal with. I do, however, also want to just point out that Kayn did get his Shadow Assassin form ready, but he hasn't gotten his Darken form yet. He's just gotten it, so now he's gonna transform into the Darken.
Yeah, and he got the Black Cleaver, and Vayne got 2 items as well now, so... Oh, you can see Vayne is fighting the Mundo in bot lane.
Yeah, so Kayn has transformed now. We can't see it before he's actually at the fight because his screen photo doesn't change in the spectator mode, but he definitely has transformed. And now we see Saya being caught out by Nivea here. This could be big, but decides
Almost. Just some damage.
Nico is around though, could be looking for something. There are 5 men from both teams on the top side of the map here. And Kane has finally gotten his Black Cleaver as well. This could potentially be a place they could fight. Meanwhile they're sieging mid lane as TGU wants to get some more vision onto the Baron. So far both teams being very careful about starting a fight.
Yeah. Yeah, just playing with a lot of respect right now.
Yeah. After the last fight it's also clear to see how both teams actually would rather not fight right now, because the last fight, while definitely both teams won the fight at some point, I would more say that both teams lost the fight at some point, which is really scary for both of them, that they can be turned around on that easily. Which means they should be very scared. I do also think we need more than just a Bramble Vest of Tarm right now, because they have so much healing on the side of TGU.
Yeah, I agree, but I also really want to look around for the Nico Flash, because she have been doing some really huge ultimates with the Flash Pop Blossom.
Definitely has. I also just want to point out that Kench has gone for a Tiamat to just even increase his weight play even more so. Vayne came decent even at split pushing, and he could probably hold anyone by himself now.
Yeah, oh, and Saya already finished the Infinity Edge.
Yeah, 3 items Saya is very scary right now.
Yeah.
And just looking at the gold difference, there's a 3k between her and Vayne.
Some nice damage on Syndra.
Yeah.
While the Mountain Drake is spawning.
Yeah, and this is gonna be big, because that's the double Mountain Drake for the side of TGU right now, and they can't really contest. And they catch out Kane. Kane has to ult in here, but decides against it. They actually taking a fight and fresh ulted. Pop Blossom going down, but Nico dying right before it does. They're on the backside, they're disengaging, but the Vayne finally got her ult down. She's just kiting. Sejuani hops the stopwatch. Oh, Vayne finally killed the Saya. Has to kill this Syndra now. Syndra also stopwatches, and Norless lives with 1 HP. Very intense fight there.
That was a really, really good played fight from TGU.
Yeah, but also just Young Esport did so many mistakes during that, and it was small mistakes at times, but also we didn't see the Kane ult come down. The Pop Blossom was almost down, but it didn't, because she died just right before, which is of course sad, but it happens.
Yeah, it was
Vayne,
really important for TGU.
Yeah, Vayne also got eaten by Tahm Kench, which meant that she lost an auto attack that she could have done earlier, and she didn't really dodge anything with it, so it didn't really matter too much. So all of these small things just stampled up, and that meant that Nautilus and Syndra both left, where they probably should have died given how much the Vayne did in that fight.
Yeah,
but we still have to commend TGU for that, because they played it very well, especially of zoning the Vayne out and ensuring that Syndra just got to left, and
yeah, but
Vayne
you can just see
picking
Vayne
off Saya now. Nico did a very nice route there.
Really nice damage now.
Yeah. Also the fact that they keep killing the Saya now, which is really big, because she is still the biggest member of her team. Syndra is close, but she doesn't do as much consistent damage. And now they can actually start Baron. Because without Saya there for the side of the TGU, they lack objective control. And while they are looking to try and contest here, they might just not be good or strong enough to do so, because Baron's already down.
Can Sejuani get the steal?
Might honestly be able to, but Vayne takes the last second as
and the
they now pop Pop Blossom down, Kane already ulting, Vayne on the backside just taking this Sejuani down after she flashes. Time killing the Syndra here, and now we see Nico on top of Mundo just rooting down as Vayne just gets the kill. And the only one alive now for the side of TGU is Sire, as the only one who goes down for this. Oh! Sire flashes in, gets the kill onto the Nico. Also ults down. Might be able to get out, I don't think so though. And Nivea just gets the tongue lash there and trades 1 for 1. As an ace goes down for Young Esport.
Yeah, I really don't think that was with Okong.
Yeah, Okong tried to go for a play, but sadly he died on it, which meant that there's nothing he can do now against this Baron empowered Vayne. Vayne has finally reached a point where he can not only just contest Sire, he's probably stronger. Like, they have the same goal now, he's gone back from this 3,000 gold deficit, and now he can actually just win these games because Syndra can't ever reach him, and they have no way of really spotting him if Serenity doesn't ult him.
Yeah. This Vayne is actually gonna 1v9 the game from now on.
Yeah, and it's even more so because that Young Esports mid laner on Nico here has really just been stepping up this game, landing those E's, landing those pop blossoms, and he's just been the core front for this team. After Nivea just has sit in this side lanes and really just sit by himself, doing really well in almost every game, we just keep forgetting that it's actually their mid laner who's been doing the most. The Atrix performance was awesome, but their mid lane has just been so consistent and keeps just setting up all of the fights for the rest of the team.
This game just took a big swing. I thought TGU had the game, but
yeah,
right
definitely.
now Young Esport is in front by 1.5k right now.
Yeah, but definitely a big comeback swing here, and now they're just looking for every tower as they have Baron buffs and super minions coming down mid lane.
I don't know what TGU are doing right now. They're just completely split on the map.
Either TGU has to commit to taking this inhib down, which probably isn't going to do too much because we see TP coming in from a Nivea here. But also the fact that now they can't defend top lane, so top lane's probably just going to go down. Oh, never mind, they might actually just kill Vayne here. And they killed the Vayne with a central. Meanwhile, on the TGU side, they're almost about to kill Anivia here.
If they kill Anivia, they can maybe end the game here. Oh, they didn't get...
Kane is being called out here by Sejuani and Syndra. Might actually just go down. Syndra doesn't have ult, but Kane just gets out.
Oh, they TP in for the end?
To end the game. We see the Mundo TP coming in here. Nico trying to stop everyone, but Sai still having ult. The Fresh Hook coming in, hits Sire, might just kill Sire here. If Sire goes down here, they will stop the entire push. And Sire does go down. Mundo's still being caught out. And he gets hit by the hook and he does die. Oh, the Boogie Ghost hits Redline here on this Nautilus. Nico might just be able to kill him. Still chases, keeps missing. Redline keeps dodging away. Glacial Augment. Oh, the hook comes through. No, it misses. Glacial Augment again. And here we go. This might be the kill onto Redline. Meanwhile, a Drake just went down. And Sejuani actually got an Infernal Drake here. Meaning 4 sides for the side. This was a very big fight because not only did the Baron buff run out, but there's also no longer just Superman spawning for Young Esports side. It's now for TGU as well in the bot side. Meanwhile, they also didn't get anything in the top side on that inhib turret, which is a big swing.
Yeah, that was so weird to get the pick on Vayne.
It's so important that Syndra just one-shot the Vayne, because Vayne is all the damage. While Nico is definitely really important, it's mostly as the zone tool and the one that stops all the tanks from going onto the Vayne. We really need to see the Syndra being shut down by the tanks, ensuring that she never gets close enough to the Vayne, because else we're just gonna watch TGU actually being able to carry these fights.
Yeah, Syndra just hit the 3 items right now as well as also.
Yeah, and one of them being the death cap.
Yeah.
So she's gonna deal an insane amount of damage.
And she hit level 16 as well, so she's gonna do so much damage on Vayne now. Who picked up the Guardian Angel?
The CDR active on Ludens, the Morello proc, as well as the death cap for extra damage is just an insane combo. Especially when level 16 against this Vayne, because there's not much we can do if Tahm Kench isn't there to W.
Yeah, we see Mundo popping the ultimate just after one tongue lash.
Yeah, he probably thought he wasn't alone there, but as we can see as the casters, he sadly was, and
Yeah.
for that's a free ultimate just burned. As Time
Oh,
Kench is
the Time
engaging
Kench
here, Mundo
ultimate.
isn't there, there's
Oh.
no TP on his side, they're going for Norton. Syndra has the flash, Vayne is focusing the Syndra. Syndra all gets stopped by the Time Kench Devour. We see Xayah on the back side of the fight, being caught out. Norlis is about to die as well. Xayah is gonna die now. They get 3 kills for 0 and they are looking to end the game.
Yeah, I think they're gonna end the game. Mundo was staying bot lane with no TP.
And really well played on the side of Young Esport, doing an incredible job.
Yeah, using the Tam Kench ultimate, that was really well played from Anivia. Yeah, they're going for the end with no minions. That's
doing
really
such a
ballsy.
big play. Killing Johnny here, no problem. Now they're gonna kill Mundo. Oh, Mundo flashes, but it's a Vayne, so it doesn't matter. Oh, Vayne might die to the tower here.
No.
No, she has heal.
Okay.
She did have TA as well, but and this is Young Esport, who will be your Division 4 SRG Springsplit champions.
Wow, that was really well played from them. Coming back from a big deficit in the early game.
Congratulations to Young Esport. An incredible 4-game series. Winning the best of 5, and also an incredible job to TGU. Doing incredible plays as well. And every player here really did step up in this 5-game series.
4-game
series, but
yeah,
best of 5 series. I meant, sorry.
Yeah, every one of them played so good this game. Anivia with the huge turnaround in the early fight in the bot lane and some really clutch Tam Kench ultimates.
Definitely, and they keep abusing the fact that they have the man advantage with the Tam Kench and they can just ult in. And such a well played by Young to do all of these plays around the map, even when they lost a few times, even in the game 2 when they got absolutely rolled over. They come back and they take all of this, and they are now your Division 4 champions after an incredible performance, with every member deserving the credit for such a nice and well thought series.
Yeah, it was 4 really entertaining games.
And we also saw a lot of interesting things being pulled out. We saw the Tam Kench top lane that has been incredibly dominant last few patches. We saw the Nico mid. We saw the Kayn Cinderhole jungle. Something I never thought I was gonna see in this. And we saw the Fresh actually being unlocked. We saw Redline's Morgana doing incredible work. We saw so much happen in these games. And now we finally go after 4 games and have to say that this was the end for Division 4, and Young Esport, after doing an incredible amount of work and did an incredible amount of games, they are finally here and they have won this series. They have won over every team in this division.
Yeah, really well played to both of the teams. And we must remember also tomorrow we have another final in the Division 3.
Oh yes, we do indeed.
So also remember to tune in tomorrow.
Yeah, and that will be between who again, Spiller? Just to
Arctic and Edale Esport.
From Division 3.
Yeah.
Both after some incredible semi-final games against both Kaylee and Lyra. And now we will thank you all for tuning in. This has been an incredible series and an incredible division to watch. And we congratulate you, Young HJE-Fryseren, for doing an incredible job. And Anivia, Cheston, Ford Rapai, 9 of Diamonds, and Fake Fresh for winning the SRG Division 4 Springsplit tournament. Thanks for watching, and we hope that you will tune in again tomorrow for Division 3.